Hey, what's happening, gamers? It's Amber here with Kwingsletsplays. Hope you guys are all having a great day today. Today we're going to be looking at the Xbox portion of the Gamescom live stream based out of Germany and Europe. So, should be pretty exciting. So, Guten Morgen, everyone. Since I did go to Germany when I was a teenager, right after high school, I know Guten Morgen means good morning in German. And when you're in line for ice cream and you take too long, you want to learn the word schnell. Well, mainly Guten Morgen, Guten Tag, and Guten Abend, is it? Oh. Hi everyone, hi Nick's Galaxy, hi Shadow Trooper, hi Timmy, hi Lorraine, hi Sammy Bear King, hi Marissa, hi London Drake, Eekpin, I'm mourning, I am a mourning, says Chad, I am a mourning, Eekpin ein, yeah, the famous thing that JFK said, Eekpin ein Berliner, Eekpin ein Berliner, where JFK was saying that John F. Kennedy was saying Ich bin ein Berliner. He was supposed to say Ich bin Berliner, meaning I am one with the German people. He was trying to say I care about you. We're one together. But he said Ich bin ein Berliner, which completely changed the sentence to mean I am a special kind of donut seen as the Berliner. So when he said Ich bin ein Berliner, he actually screamed, I am a jelly donut. Yeah, just a tiny bit different meaning. Thank you, Chad. Hi, Tom. Hi, Tyree. Hi, Gravedigger, #1 fan. Hi, everyone. What are we gonna see today? No idea. Zelda's here with me. She's reacting. We're here on the Showfloor with Zelda the cat. She has a lot of things that she's thinking about. She would like to see some games with cats in them. She would also like to see some games with mice in them that she can eat. She would also like to see games with birds in them. Another kind of game that she would be thinking about is games with fish involved with the game. I don't actually know. I've got my breakfast hot pocket today and I learned to actually take out I finished one of the empty boxes of Hot Pockets and I actually threw it away, so Luke won't be like looking in there and being like, I thought there was another Hot Pocket. But there are 2 more breakfast Hot Pockets left in the fridge. This is the only kind of Hot Pocket I really eat anymore. Is the breakfast kind. I don't really eat. I used to like the chicken and broccoli kind. I don't get anything chicken because Luke can't have chicken. So I don't get any chicken in the house whatsoever, so the only kind I don't get the sausage Hot Pocket, I just get the bacon, egg, and cheese Hot Pocket. I think it's pretty good. And I actually I don't put this on for 2 minutes, I put it on for 3 minutes because it gets very crispy. And I like things overdone. Like everything that I eat, I like it overdone. So it's a little crunchy, but I enjoy it. What is Gamescom? It's now the largest gaming, it's like E3 but in Germany, and it's basically people from all over the world come and showcase their new and upcoming games. It's actually the biggest live gaming event in the world right now, I believe, except for like Tokyo Game Show, because E3 is completely gone. They're not going to do E3 anymore. So it's basically, if you liked E3 and you can't watch that anymore because it's like they're really not doing E3 anymore, I don't believe. So yeah, so basically this is the new E3 for us Americans that can't see E3 anymore. So that's basically it, and it's pretty cool. They have people from all over Europe, and then they have people from Japan, and they possibly have people from, other countries. I think they have people from like, South America and Africa and stuff. They just have people from all over the world come there. I think some people from America go there. So it's basically just like E3, where people from all over the world just go to that location and they show off. it's a little bit like different than E3. It's just a little bit, I feel like it's a little bit more, you know, it doesn't have an American feel to it where there's like a huge stage and Keanu Reeves and everything. It's more like, you know, I mean, there is a huge stage, but they just have a different feel to it. They have their own humor. They have their own way of doing things. So it's, you know, it's pretty cool. Hi, Pikachu T Sessions. Hi, Timmy K. Hello, says Timmy K. Hello. Hi, Tevia. Hi, Sagittarius. Yep, Xbox is streaming this early. Well, in Germany, it is 5 hours later than this, so it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon in Germany, so this is the afternoon showcase in Europe. But yeah, if you're, yeah, so now you know our European friends or people in that time zone, you know, actually, and I know we have a lot of viewers from South Africa who I think are in a similar time zone to Europe. And they, you know, they're many hours ahead of us, like 5 to 7 hours ahead of us. So like when we're streaming at 2 in the morning, it's like, or we're streaming at 11 p.m. at night, it's literally like they're, or 10 at night, they're up till like 3 a.m. watching us. So, and where Chad is in the Philippines, it's actually the opposite time. So it's actually the evening for him. He's watching probably 9 o'clock at night from the Philippines. All right. Hi, Shadow Trooper. I don't have Xbox, so I'm not interested in Shadow Trooper. Well, they might show some things that are multi-system, so who knows? I don't know. Zelda looks like she's unsure about what they're going to showcase today. It's like, I feel like we covered Gamescom last year, and I keep wanting to call it Gamescon, but it's Gamescom, and basically my impression of it is that it is more professional.
A new member.
It's more professional in some ways, but it's more laid back in other ways. So it just has that like European flair to it, where they're more relaxed about some things, but more professional about other things. So it just has a different vibe to it, basically. Thank you, our cereal, for the gifted membership, for being a member for 40 months. You're breathtaking. And Luke is trailing off to bed, our cereal, but he says thank you so much also. Hope you're having a great day, our cereal, and everyone. Great to see you guys. Available for free.
Willkommen hier aus Köln. Welcome to Gamescom.
For the first time, Xbox Game Studios, Activision, Blizzard, and Bethesda are coming together here in Cologne to bring you what you want. More new games.
And we've got our work cut out for us this week as we showcase the more than 50 titles on display and the many ways to play that makes Xbox the best place for gaming.
And to do all that, we've assembled an international squad, because with this many titles, we need reinforcements.
That's right, Lena. You need a crack team of gamers willing to play and properly fan out over the latest titles. It's a tough job, but somebody has to do it.
So get yourself ready for some interviews, live gameplay, and some big announcements across Xbox consoles, PC, and cloud, plus all the latest titles from Game Pass and PC Game Pass.
You know, in fact, Henry, we've already seen the brand new game mode reveal for Forza Horizon 5, Hide and Seek, at the top of the show. And remember, that launches on September 10th on Forza Horizon 5.
But first, it's over to Charlie.
to help kick off our show, we've got some very familiar faces here with us. It's Sarah Bond and Phil Spencer. Thank you so much for joining us today. First question, how does it feel to be here at Xbox's Gamescom presence?
It is so much energy here. It's been fantastic to see the fans, to be part of Opening Night Live last night, and to see their reaction. This booth, and I have no idea why we're calling it a booth, because it's not a booth. It's an entire wonderland.
It really is. It's an underestimation calling it a booth,
Oh,
right?
you'll hear
With
girls back.
experiences,
Sorry, I was
with
eating my Hot
games
Pocket.
that you can play, things you can see, incredible photo opportunities is fantastic. So to see folks pouring in and experiencing it, and it reminds you of what makes this industry special, which is all about celebrating games, the joy they bring, and the people who make them.
It's, for us, our first Gamescom with Activision, Blizzard, Bethesda, Xbox all here together. So there's definitely something special. All the teams have gotten together, and I think there's just such great
Phil
representation.
Spencer.
I'll also
Almost
say
forgot his
the
name.
industry has gone through a lot of transition with our shows, and seeing Gamescom as strong as ever with fans, consumers coming in, all the creators that are here, and strength across Europe. Like, we need more of this in the industry. I'm glad we're here supporting. And it's just awesome to see how the gamers show up to support this show.
Bigger and better every year. We love to see it. Before we come to the booth, though, I actually want to talk. I saw you both were at Opening Night Live yesterday, and there were some pretty amazing reveals and news in there. So what was it like? I couldn't get a ticket, unfortunately, but what was it like to be in the room with that live reaction?
There's nothing better than being in the room with the live reaction and to just see people marvel at the things that are being made. All the work being showcased, and folks put so much work into bringing that forward. I'd say for
President
me,
of Xbox.
it was really cool to see Game Pass titles in the show. I think we had over a
I don't
dozen
remember if I saw her
titles that are
or
coming
not.
to Game Pass in the show. We just have a fantastic lineup. But I was especially excited to announce that Genshin Impact is coming to Xbox.
Oh, yeah. That's my one. That's mine.
There's some pretty cool Game Pass rewards that are going to be part of that.
Nice.
There's going to be full cross progression. and it's
I
also
don't know
gonna
if
be
we're
on
gonna see
cloud.
games
So
or I think we are gonna
that
see
one
some games.
was a real highlight for me because I know so many fans are excited to enjoy that on the Xbox.
They're
I
gonna
love
do
when
interviews.
creators are making new
and
things.
they're gonna talk, and I
it-
think they're
you
gonna
have to
show
be really
some games
brave
also.
to come to a show, maybe before you're done, show your game, get the feedback. Teams that are creating new games. I thought the diversity of games at the show was awesome.
absolutely,
From
yes.
big, huge games to smaller games, things we've heard of, seen, things we hadn't heard of. I also have to say Genshin, we got to meet with the MiHoYo team earlier in the day, and they had such excitement for their announcement, and it was nice to be able to support that.
Oh, fantastic. And obviously we can't talk about Opening Night Live. We saw some amazing new
Yeah,
stuff.
so
from
what are you
Indiana
guys
Jones and the
excited
Great
about
Circle
for
as well?
Xbox?
That was that
Oh, here we
exciting
go,
release
Indiana
date.
Jones.
We also saw the news about PlayStation as well, which is
But
really
they're
cool.
just
I'm really
showing really
interested in
small
that. So
clips
I
of
want to
stuff.
know how this connects back to Xbox's
Yes, and the
perspective
hair-
on
and this
how and
lady's
when this
hair is
approach
really
happens to other
loud.
titles.
I mean, I'll start just saying Machine Games is doing such a nice job with that game. I thought it showed really well. And that's the most important thing is quality of the
Absolutely.
games, teams that are getting support that can go build the game. And it was just nice. The long gameplay segment that they had, I thought was fantastic. Going to the PlayStation announcement, obviously last spring, we launched 4 games, 2 of them on the Switch, 4 of them on PlayStation, and we said we're going to learn. We said we'd watch, and I think at Showcase, I might have said from our learning, we're going to do more. What I see
can
when I
look
look
up
is our
online and see
franchises
how
are
long
getting
Gamescom
stronger.
is gonna
Our
go on. I
Xbox
think it's gonna go on
console
for several more
players are
days.
as high this year as they've ever been.
Amazing.
So I look at it and I say, okay, our player numbers are going up for the console platform. Our franchises are as strong as they've ever been. And we run a business. Like, it's definitely true inside of Microsoft. The bar is high for us in terms of the delivery that we have to give back to the company, because we get a level of support from the company that's just amazing in what we're able to go do. So I look at this, how can we make our games as strong as possible? Our platform continues to grow, both on console, on PC, and on cloud. And I think it's just going to be a strategy that works for us. And the last thing I'll probably say is I think as an industry right now, there's a lot of pressure on the industry. It's been growing for a long time, and now people are looking for ways to grow. And I think that us as fans, as players of games, we just have to anticipate there's going to be more change in how some of the traditional ways that games were built and distributed. That's going to change. That's going to change for all of us. But the end result has to be better games that more people can play. If we're not focused on that, I think we're focused on the wrong things. So for us as Xbox, health of Xbox, health of our platform, and our growing games, most important things.
Oh, that sounds perfect. Lovely. Now back to the booth. I saw you both walking around earlier before you joined me up here, sneaking some pictures with devs at Frontier, Sega, and GSC Game World. So
you hope that you get an update
what
on
it's like to be working with our partners here in Europe, and what kind
hope
of
we get an update on the Blade game. Awesome,
Archangel.
Yeah, that would be cool.
We have here in Europe.
You know what? I'm gonna look up
over
online and see what is supposed to be
partners
showcased
in EMEA, actively building games.
That's a lot of emails.
I know it is a lot of emails for Xbox, PC, and console and cloud today. We've got over 20 of them here with us, here in the booth. And it's just been great to walk around, to see what they're doing. 2 Point Museum for Sega Europe. We've got the STALKER 2 team, GSC Game World, back with us, supporting them over the last couple of years has been a real highlight. So to get to be able to play their game again here is fantastic. We just walked over and checked out Winterborough,
Star Wars Outlaws,
very
Genshin Impact, Age of Mythology,
Aura,
History of Untold, Age of
and
Mythology.
So it's great to be able to grow here with the partners that we have in Europe.
Amazing. And it also comes, as well as the amazing support you've got for local devs, is there's such a huge play base here in Europe as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what kind of special stuff are you seeing from us over here?
I mean, Europe's always been really important to Xbox. It used to be we treated this almost solely as a PC show. Well, I'm old enough that I remember we used to kind of take E3 and just show it again. Like this was back when we didn't really treat Gamescom with the respect that it deserves. Then we were focused more on PC.
The
now
respect
what we find
it deserves.
Here
Now
is
E3 doesn't even
putting our games
exist.
on PC,
You
on
have to
console
treat it
really
with
matches
respect
to the
because
diverse
E3
player
is no
base we
longer
see
there.
in Europe. Like some of the strongest
Okay,
franchises
it
on
says
PC
that
are from here. You have great console support.
The
So the
Gamescom
most important
opening
thing for
night
us is to show local support for
games
creators,
that were
to put
announced
games
for
in the hands
Xbox
of people.
were
One thing that's great about Gamescom
Indiana
is you
Jones,
can come and you can
Fable,
play the games.
Dark
You can
Ages,
feel what it's like to play
South
Stalker
Midnight,
or
Avowed,
Vessel of
Shattered
Hatred from
Space,
Diablo. Like, you
Diablo
get your chance
4,
here.
World of
And I
Warcraft,
think that's something
Age of
special about
Mythology,
this show. And it's so
Towerborn,
accessible to so
Aura,
much
Call
of
of
Europe.
Duty,
I
Black
just
Ops
love that
6,
we support it the way
Flight
we do.
Simulator,
Absolutely. And with the sheer scale that it demands, as well as you were saying earlier, Sarah.
With our
Indiana
little
Jones,
city here. that we
Yeah,
have.
the little
and
city that
more.
we're building. We're the mayors. So I want to speak a little bit more on hardware, as we've gone over it a couple times here. Since
Well,
I've
the
not
Age of
spoken to you since the
Mythology
showcase
looks
at all, which is
pretty
criminal in and of
interesting. I
itself.
think Luke
But we saw
played
the three
something
new
like
options
that.
for the Xbox Series X and S. So I was
like
wondering if there's
a
a little bit more information we can share about
Well,
that.
pre-orders are starting
Civilization
today.
type game.
All right, get yours in. We're launching on October 15th in select markets, and we also have some very cool accessibility options, which we're going to be talking more about later today. And for holiday and the rest of this year, some very cool console wraps that you can get to
A new vehicle for
adorn your console
Starfield
as you may
is
choose.
Christmas list
supposedly
sorted then.
coming
Thank you very
out
much,
in
Sarah.
September.
Okay, console options done. We're going to hear they'll be coming just in time for Call of Duty Black Ops 6, which is amazing. Cannot wait for
looked
that.
so good last night in the show.
Yeah, oh my
Fantastic.
goodness me, it was just
The campaign
silence.
from Raven, I thought was just awesome.
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely
The
fantastic.
Black Ops
Talking
6
of games, I
trailer
want to
did
know
look
though,
really
what
cool
are you going to be
yesterday.
playing? Is there anything you've got your eye on? Last year we spoke about
Age
Brotato,
of
yeah.
Mythology
and I wanted
is
to give you an update,
amazing.
and everyone at
Awesome
home that I have
trivia,
now
very cool.
100%ed Little Kitty Big City.
World
It
of
is
Warcraft for
quite
console
possibly the
says,
greatest game
hey,
of all time.
Nani,
But yeah, is there anything on your
Anonymous?
backlog that you need to catch up on?
I'm
or
on the
anything coming up
Xbox
soon you wanna dive into?
website and it's
Well,
saying...
the Game Pass lineup is
Let me
making the
just triple
backlog
check. It says World of Warcraft, The War
extraordinarily
Within,
long.
Unbelievable.
August
And it's getting even better this year, both on console and PC.
August 26th, 2024, and it has it listed as a first-party Xbox game.
Black
World
Ops
of
6,
Warcraft,
course,
War Within,
Indiana
August 26th,
Jones,
first-party
Stalker 2.
Xbox
Like,
game.
it's
It
all
has it
like-
listed on
every month
Xbox's
there's something pretty
website
amazing.
as a
games.
There's a lot of
first-party
games. We
Xbox
like
game,
games
World of
around
Warcraft,
here.
coming
I
out
would say from a personal
in 5
perspective,
days.
Super excited for Diablo 4, especially because my father is probably the biggest Diablo
Hi, Savon.
fan.
Hi,
So Vessel of
Tevya.
Hatred
Hi, how's
is
it going?
coming
Great to
up.
see you guys.
Yeah, the fact that Vessel of Hatred is
Hi,
coming
Tom.
up is
How's it
pretty
going?
big.
Hi, everyone.
In their world. And then I am excited to play Genshin Impact on
Yes.
Xbox and particularly to check it out over the cloud.
Yeah, very good. We'll have to do it.
Yeah, they're going to talk for a really long
Perfect. Phil,
time.
anything
Like,
for
if
you?
you guys need to get breakfast,
Well, P3 on
like,
Xbox
I would,
Live, people can see
you
what I'm
know,
playing.
eat your breakfast
lot of
right now
Diablo
because
4 right now. My
they're going to
rapid
be
fire
just.
rogues,
I think they're just
L100,
going
all
to
my
be
glitches,
jabbering on.
21.
I don't.
Having a good time.
I want to say they're going to say
just love the
something
game,
important,
playing
but
with my
I don't
friends.
think they're going to say anything
Path
important
of
in
the
the next
Goddess,
20 minutes.
Gami,
Nice, yeah.
like our partners at Capcom doing new IP, it was awesome to be able to partner with them. It's something in Game Pass. As they're investing in new, like we can actually come in with some financial
Definitely,
funding.
hey,
to help
Nani.
support
I'm gonna give you
them
guys
investing in-
the
I just love the color
website I'm
palette,
on.
the boss design.
This is the
just
website for the
really,
list
really
of
fun
games
Some
for
old school kind of tower defense mechanics. I love that. One of the things I get to do every month is I go through the ID selects with the team and we vote internally on games from different ID developers. Daydreams is a game I'm really liking. Little boy and his toy teddy bear, and kind of a single player type co-op game. It's fun.
I'm sold.
I think a couple months ago, High Water was a game that's really good. Like I love when I get a list of games from creators and teams I haven't seen before and get to dive in. I think there's like 15 of them. I play them, and my vote's just like anybody else's vote in terms of where they rank. But that's fun. A lot of great games, a lot of kind of new things and things that have been around for a while. Oh, and I'm here, so I'm not doing it. My buggy in Starfield. I'm looking forward. I've been asking for Todd for vehicles. Come on, Todd. I want vehicles in this game. I'm tired of walking around this planet. And I thought the trailer for that looked really good last night, so I can't wait to drive around planets and Starfield.
Wonderful. And talking of driving, I'm personally, if anyone's wondering, super excited. Forza Horizon 5
the
is
link
over
is
there.
too
It's
long.
a game I cannot put down. Absolutely adore it. So if they've got something new cooking, I desperately need to see
New
what
gameplay
that
mode.
is.
Yeah.
So excited. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for the chat. Please enjoy getting your hands on our lovely city we've got here. But I'm going to speak to these guys here because if, like me, you've been eyeing up those new consoles, then buckle up because we want to help you win one. Now, over to Bex with more information.
Well, thanks, Charlie. So not only are these honeys available for pre-order right now, anyone watching the broadcast has a chance to enter to win either the 1TB Xbox Series X All Digital Edition, by the way, the 1TB Xbox Series S, both in Robot White, or the grand prize of the 2TB Special Edition Galaxy Xbox Series X. I mean, look how gorgeous that is. To enter, just head over to twitch.tv/Xbox, check out the rules and all the info in the chat.
I'll just pin it to the top. There you go. So you guys can see the Xbox Gamescom games announced from Microsoft's website. You guys want to check that out? It's right there. It lists
we are now going to look at
the
some
games
new
that
wheels
they
that have
said
been inspired
that
by
they announced
Dallas
at
Maverick star
Gamescom this
Luka
year.
Doncic, and best of all, blessed by the GOAT himself, Michael Jordan. So let's have a look.
So a Michael Jordan inspired vehicle, Air Jordan vehicle in Forza.
Hello everyone, it is an honor to be here at Gamescom representing the incredible work of our teams around the world. We have a lot going on here in Cologne on the show floor. Right here behind me, attendees can experience the demo for the Diablo IV Vessel of Hatred expansion. We are also excited to be speaking with our global community here on the Xbox broadcast over the coming days. During Opening Night Live, we shared that this is a massive year for Blizzard, particularly for World of Warcraft. The most ambitious creative endeavor for the team since the game's initial release almost 20 years ago begins tomorrow, with early access kicking off for our latest expansion, The War Within. And tomorrow, Senior Game Director Ian Hazakostas and Associate Art Director Tina Wang will be sharing more about the team's work on the expansion and the role it will play in the three-part World Soul Saga. Last night, we also gave an overview of some new features coming to Diablo IV, Vessel of Hatred. And we know you have a lot of questions. So Diablo General Manager Rod Ferguson will be getting into the details of the new features coming with this expansion, and we'll share more about what's coming to Diablo
There we
Immortal.
go.
We're so
You guys
excited
were asking about
to
World
be
of
here at
Warcraft. There it
Gamescom
is
with Xbox
on Xbox. You can
and
play
with
it
all
on
of you.
Xbox.
Gaming is at its very
I'm
best
thinking
when we
about getting
share our
into it now.
experiences. And on behalf of everyone at Blizzard, thank you for being a part of our legendary worlds alongside us. Now, before I go, I want to leave you with a parting gift from the Overwatch team. The origin story for our latest hero, Juno, now available in Season 12. Enjoy.
Flight, we're wondering why you haven't fired primary boosters yet. All systems appear optimal.
I just need a minute. It is so hard to say goodbye to the only home I've ever known.
I understand, but the colony isn't safe anymore, and our window of opportunity is closing. So let's get you on your way to your new home.
Next stop, Earth. Initiating boosters in 3, 2, 1. Control?
Our sensors indicate an external issue.
External?
Follow protocols and you'll be fine, but you have to hurry.
Careful. I'm going to find a way to save you. All of you. I think I see the problem.
Copy that.
Okay.
Don't panic. You're okay.
I am definitely not okay. Why did I think I could do this?
Juno, I believe in you. You've trained for this kind of thing your whole life. You have all the tools you need.
Okay. All right. I have all the tools I need. Control. Problem solved.
Hear that? We're all so proud of you. I want you to live a long, happy life on Earth, sweetheart. Always remember, I love you.
I love you too, Mom. Okay, Earth. Here I come.
Attention, unknown craft. Halt your approach and identify yourself.
It is too late to halt. I'm coming in very hot. Who is this?
This is Overwatch. I am tracking your trajectory and will have someone meet you. For my records, where did you come from?
I am from Mars, and my name is Juno.
It's one of the fastest selling games in Blizzard's history, and it just made headlines again at last night's opening night live. And here to give us an exclusive look at Diablo 4's newest expansion, please welcome General Manager Rod Ferguson, Systems Designer Aislinn Hall, and Lead Game Designer Rex Dixon. Welcome, guys, to Gamescom.
Thank you for having us.
How you guys all doing? Yeah, it's exciting stuff. Now, for those of the people out there that might have missed what happened last night, why don't you clue us in? What exactly did you just do?
Yeah, well, last night was exciting. So our game director for their Vessel of Hatred expansion, Brent Gibson, got on stage and he talked about something that we've been going even deeper on the expansion. You know, we've talked about the Spiritborn, the class, we've talked about the new zone, Nahantu, talked about the new story campaign, but we're like, there's even more in the expansion than that. And so we really want to get into like different ways that people want to play the game. And so we introduced the Undercity of Kuras, which is our new dungeon, which Rex will talk about. We have our new Dark Citadel, which is our multiplayer co-op. And then the big thing was our trailer last night for our Mercenaries.
Ah, Mercenaries. Now, let's talk about them for a sec, because this is a brand new gameplay feature. We'll talk about new class and all that kind of stuff in a sec, but Mercenaries seems really interesting. You showed off like this vignette with 4 different characters. I mean, introduce us to them. Who are these people? Why did it feel like the right time to bring it in now? And how do you hope players are going to engage with the Mercenaries?
Yeah.
Rex?
So I think the franchise has a legacy of followers and mercs, and we wanted to really reimagine that formula. And so we added this feature called Mercenaries to the game. There's 4 mercenaries that you can recruit. One is Rahir, one is Variana, Subo, and Aldkin, the demon child, which everyone got very excited about at the show the other night. And so there's a lot of depth in Mercenaries. So you'll meet Rahir in the campaign. He'll introduce you to this hideout called the Merc Den. And within the Merc Den, you can find these quests. You have to go on these story-based quests to actually acquire the Merc in order for them to party with you. So each Merc has his own backstory, his own personality. And then once you acquire them, you can bring them into your party with you. And essentially it facilitates a way that solo players never have to feel like they're alone again. Because now they have this friend, this partner who can adventure with them. And so one of the ways that you progress your Merc is you have each Merc has their own skill tree. And you can sort of pick and choose which skills you want them to have. And it's a really nice way to complement your build. So whatever build you're trying to go with, you can have the Merc set up so their skills kind of match and overlap with your own. We also have a system called Rapport. The more you work with a Merc and the more you adventure with them, the more they can sort of give you more benefits and they can kind of grow in power. And so once you go back to the Merc Den, you can actually get custom rewards that you can only get by progressing your Merc, building up that rapport.
Yeah, I made a
in
small
order to
poll.
access these really
You guys
awesome
can
rewards
see.
at
I
the
tried to
end.
fit as many of the Xbox titles that they'll be talking about
Absolutely.
on there, and I'll also look up and see what the rest of the schedule is for Gamescom, because I have no idea what it is.
All the time. You can actually say, when I use this skill or perform an evade or something like that, I want this reinforcement Merc to jump on the field, perform an action, and jump back out again. Yeah. So there's a lot of depth, a lot of fun.
If I was a Call of Duty player, the Call of Duty thing they showed looked really neat.
You can equip one at a time to complement your character, but you can access all of them and try them all out, see which one works best for you.
Correct, and you can mix and match
also,
your combos.
one thing I don't think I put on there was Fable, which has like another game in the series, and that has a very crass humor rated M, but
because there wasn't enough on screen already.
Honestly, the humor looked very funny. It kind of reminded me of like
Have you got any
Monty
particular
Python
favorite Mercs that you like playing alongside?
For me personally, Rahir, because Rahir's a dad,
it has
and
like
his daughter
medieval
is
humor, and it was
really,
it was actually pretty funny.
And so I kind of like associate myself with him because I'm a dad as well. I got 2 boys.
Right.
But also, like, I have a problem when I play Diablo, and I'm always speccing into damage and DPS at the expense of my defensive skills. And so Rahir has this buff called Resiliency, which actually increases your armor, increases your defensive buffs. And so I actually rely on that to stay alive when I'm playing the game.
Nice. Aislinn, how about yourself?
Yeah, I absolutely love Variana. She's just totally wild. She's a butcher who's also a former cannibal, which is just crazy.
Yeah.
And I love playing aggressively. You know, I love building momentum and moving forward. And she has a kill streak mechanic, and that complements that very nicely.
I like it. Rod?
I mean, the Demon Child. I think it's such a unique character in our world, and that explosive power, and the fact that it has the sort of the 2 sides, the human side and the demon side, is really cool to sort of complement the variety on the battlefield.
Okay, well, you've picked 3. I'll take the one left over.
Subo.
Yeah, I'll pick Subo.
I mean, who doesn't love a drunken archer, really? I mean, that's...
Exactly.
You know,
Thank you. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun, but now, as promised, why don't we cover some behind-the-scene looks at the making Diablo IV Vessel of Hatred. Check this out.
In Vessel of Hatred, we travel south to Nahantu, a region with both deep ancient jungles and vast sprawling plains. It's the last stretch of land in Sanctuary's eastern continent, and we've packed it full of experiences for every type of player. In this expansion, there's a whole lot to explore under the dark canopy of Nahantu.
Nahantu is the southernmost region of the eastern continent that Diablo IV has been taking place in. It's the last region that we haven't visited yet so far in the game, but it is one that we've been to before in Diablo.
There's lots of new areas. We have 6 in total. 4 of them are jungle themed, and then we have 2 that are Red Rock Canyon, but each one of them has their own unique identity. When you first arrive in Nahantu, you're in this place called Lingering Hatred. This is high treetops canopies where you're almost walking amongst the branches high above the jungle floor.
Imagine a thick canopy that the light is just barely poking through.
The whole area has been infected by this thing called the Hollows infestation. The Hollows are a new enemy that's associated with Mephisto. They themselves are kind of like a tar-like substance creature born straight out of the depths of hell.
It feels a little twisted. There's a sickness to the area itself.
Okay.
Humans have ventured into this deep part of the jungle where there's all this poisonous plants and flora. The dregs actually started experimenting with eating these hallucinogens, and it put them into this aggressive psycho rage.
So to answer your question, I think it was Shadow Trooper. I'm on the Age of Mythology website right now.
You have one of these
Age of
tall
Mythology,
dregs, and then half of a body of another dreg on top of it, kind of
retold everything we
controlling it
know.
and telling it where to go and tossing
Age of
poisonous
Mythology
bombs at the
retold.
player.
It's only
When you
going to
come
be on
across it,
Xbox
it's very
and PC.
memorable.
And then we've also got the area of Tenganse, where you've got the Tenganse Plateau, which is full of these red-rocked plateaus and canyons.
Imagine getting up above the land. Those gigantic walls have pockets inside where monsters could live. It offered up a lot of opportunity to bring back a monster family like the Lucunai.
We're bringing them back in a new way here as a fully fleshed out monster family with multiple classes.
What a more brute force looks like, what a caster looks like. They are very much apex predators, and we're definitely in their territory. And then there's a little sub-area called the Skittering Earth.
The name alone makes your skin crawl.
And it's bug infested, and you can see how the bugs have destroyed the jungles and kind of input their influence on it. Within the Field of Giants, you have these giant corpses of these long-dead demons that humans have begun to mine away at for their resources. While they've got a lot of use out of them, they're also toxic to the land around it.
The notion of massive demons walking Sanctuary 1,000
we've
years
played
ago
a
is
similar
really
game to Age of
thought-provoking.
Mythology on the channel.
Plateau's also got just this beautiful color scheme to the lighting. It's really lovely to be there. And then horrific at the same time, you know, it's great.
The mercenaries in Vessel of Hatred are a group of people who we like to describe as
No
ordinary
problem,
people
Shadow
with
Trooper.
extraordinary skills.
Maybe they will
have
move Age
the
of
same level of
Mythology
will
over
to
to.
fight against
I can look and
demons
see
of
if there
hell.
are
There's
any Age
4
of
mercs that you
Mythology
can collect over the course
on the
of the
Switch or
campaign. Starts with Rahir, a blacksmith and a shield bearer, is a more defensive fighter.
He's able to go in there and soak up damage, use his shield as a bulwark against the enemy.
You meet him early on in the campaign, and he's one who introduces you to the mercenary network. You end up finding acquisition quests for 3 other mercs that you can find throughout the course of the story.
Subo, the drunken archer, is going to work really well for people who want someone who's out of the main melee, in the back, offering utility and that kind of range support.
Then we have Ariana, a berserker crone, who's a melee combat fighter, close range. She's got a really cool combat meter, a massacre meter, where you need to keep killing enemies to get the meter to be filled.
She's got a bunch of really interesting utility skills that you can kind of build in.
Finally, we have the demon child Aldkin, who's a magic user who can transform himself from human form to demon form and join you in combat.
There's this really great reinforcement ability where you can take one of the mercenary skills and attach it to one of your powers so that when you use that skill, it calls them in to do a specific skill.
With the mercenaries for Vessel of Hatred, one of the things we are expanding on is the skill tree. For Diablo 3, you had a very basic type of mercenary, but this time you can actually push a little bit more into the skill tree and make the mercenary the way you would want to play.
Going through each mercenary progression arc and outfitting their skill tree so that it's complementary to your character build, I think that's where the fun in the mercenary system really lies.
The Dark Citadel is a new in-game feature that's coming in Vessel of Hatred. It's an entirely cooperative player experience. All the mechanics within it are based around you working together with your party members to solve the challenges and face
So,
the first Khazra
I
hordes within.
didn't realize this, but Age of Mythology, everyone probably knows this, but Age of Mythology is on the Age of Empires franchise.
The goal
So you guys
of
could
the first
definitely
Khazra, who
check
are
out
kind of the
other
original
games
Khazra,
that are on the Age
they're
of
using
Empires
the
franchise.
powers
I believe
within
Luke
the
played one
Citadel
from the
found within this
Switch.
crater to
So I'm
perform
sure there are Age of
experiments to
Empires
try and bring
games
back their dark
on
Only
the
recently,
Switch and PlayStation.
people have started going missing. They head into the
Like
Khazra region, they
previous games.
disappear, never to be seen again. So it's clear that whatever they're planning is about to
So,
come
yeah.
to fruition, and your job
No,
as the players
I
to get in
enjoy
there
it
and
because
stop
I like being
Citadels
able
are a
to look
place where
things
we
up for you
take
guys because I
what
feel like
is
I'm
the best
useful
part of
then.
Diablo,
Otherwise,
combat,
I'm just sitting
and we
here. My
test
cat's
it in a
doing most of
different
the
way,
work.
which is adding in
Somebody said,
cooperative
awesome,
mechanics
Zelda the Cat
that you have to
Cat
manage
Cam.
on top
Excellent.
of that.
For example, a boss has an attack.
definitely,
As a player, you have to
Hedgehog.
collect an item that allows you to reflect the attack back at him. So there's a little bit of a Twitch level mechanic there where you actually have to time your reaction shot. What's interesting about it is when you get multiple people in there, we're each responsible for reflecting that shot once. So we all have to sort of master the timing of that move. You can't do that kind of thing without coordinating as a team, and that's sort of the example of what Citadel gameplay feels like.
When designing the Citadel, we designed a lot of really cool bosses. And so one of the things that we did is we took that design
yeah,
and
you
made
like
armor sets for each of
things
the
like
classes.
Civilization and
That way you
Command
feel
and
like you
Conquer,
took
also
their
Shadow
armor
Trooper.
and you feel
I
like
love
you're wearing a
Civilization
little bit of them
and
after
Luke
your
liked it.
victory.
I think
We also
he's
have a
played
currency
Command and
that's
Conquer, I'm not
dedicated
sure.
to the Citadel, where as you play through, a vendor can be interacted with to buy
Oh, you
custom
played the
cosmetics that
original
are unique
Lego
to the Citadel.
Adventure, Indiana
You can
Jones,
play
Yali
with two
games.
people,
Awesome.
but the ideal experience is for 4. In order to facilitate that, we've built an all-new Party Finder feature, and the community has been pretty vocal about wanting this for a long time. It made a lot of sense to us to pair it with this new Citadel mode.
It really is an activity that's geared towards people who love to play together with their friends or with
They announced
strangers
a bunch of
and
games
enjoy that cooperative
earlier last night, so they'll just be talking more
I
about them.
cannot wait for players to get into the
There's
world.
a website,
I'm
I
really
think
just
I
excited for
linked
people to
it
see
in
all
the
the
very
little
top of
hidden
the chat. You
storytelling
can go to the
elements that
website
the
there and
team
it
has
lists
fit
every
in.
game
Just
that they
interesting
announced
things to
at
find and
Gamescom.
see and discover around
Fable,
every corner, and it's just
Doom,
a really great
Dark
experience getting to
Ages,
explore now.
South Midnight, Avowed, Shattered Space, Diablo IV, World of Warcraft on the Xbox, Age of Mythology, and the Age of Empires
I mean, Party Finder,
game
that
series,
is a
but it's Age of
fantastic
Mythology
idea.
exclusive
I
to
mean,
Xbox.
the amount of times I log on and the buddy's
Towerborn,
not there or whatever. Now I can fill that gap. And
Indiana Jones
who
and
needs
the Great
friends anymore,
Circle,
right?
which would be amazing.
There was a
Flight
lot in
Simulator
that. I want to talk
and
specifically
some
first
other
about
games.
the Dark Citadel, because as a guy that's into his endgame activities, that's a
And,
really creative
Call of
way
Duty
to
Black Ops
bring players
6.
together and actually work things out. So tell us what actually will players have to do inside Dark Citadel to earn some rewards, get through it alive?
So it's really a unique model for us. And again, Dark Citadel is built towards endgame. And we're doing more in
And then,
Vessel
of course,
Hatred
they'll
to push
probably
players
have other
through the
games
campaign
on there
and
that
into
they'll
the
discuss,
endgame,
such as
where
the
we
Star
think
Wars
some of the
game.
best content is. So
that's
Dark
coming up and
Citadel will
everything like that.
require at least 2 players to get through, and requires a lot of communication between players to overcome challenges. Every week there's going to be updated rewards, so there's always a reason to go back and do it again, because there's going to be some new stuff in there, including one very big fan requested feature, which is our scroll of retempering. So no more bricked items. You'll be able to apply the scroll and get all new tempering charges on that item. So I know everyone's very excited about that, and Dark Citadel is the best place to go to get that.
Excellent. Well, there is a lot in that, but it isn't the only thing that you're launching on October 8th. So what else we got to look forward to?
Yeah, so on October 8th, we're also going to be launching Season 6 alongside Vessel of Hatred. And
Yeah,
Season
so
6
the
is going
big
to have a
games
ton
that
of
they're going to be
content
talking
that's,
about for Xbox
bespoke.
are
It's
Diablo
totally separate and unique to
4,
Season 6.
I think it is.
And it's going to be free for all Diablo 4
Age
players,
of
which is
Mythology,
awesome.
which should be really
We're going to be talking
interesting.
a lot more about
Unfortunately,
the
just an
details
Xbox
of the content of
exclusive.
Season 6 in the coming months.
Indiana
But there's not
Jones and
gonna
the Great
just- there's not
Circle,
gonna
which will
just
be really
new content
interesting.
coming in Season 6. Alongside Season 6 and
I think
Vessel
I already
of
said
Hatred,
Call of
we
Duty
also have
6 Black
major
Ops, which
character progression
looks like it's
updates coming to
really
Diablo
interesting,
4.
very
I'm gonna have to
violent,
ask for
but
some
very
specifics,
cool
surely.
looking.
That you tease me too much.
And then
What else you got?
I don't know what
So
systems
if you're
Fable is
familiar
coming
or
to,
you've
but that
played
looks like
Season
it's going to
4
be really
Loop Reborn,
interesting.
you know we did a
Also
lot of
rated M.
itemization changes. that kind of fundamentally altered a lot about
And then
how
there'll
you're playing
probably
the
be
game and how you're getting
an
rewards.
indie showcase as
the
well for
scope
Xbox.
of the
I'm
character
assuming.
progression changes that are coming in Season 6 are, it's the same. Like, it's the same grand
So these people
scale.
are,
There's
I
a
don't
lot
know
of
if they're going to
changes
be showing a lot of
coming
movie
to,
trailers
character
right
progression, a lot
today.
of
I don't know if they're going to be
coming.
mainly talking.
I'd love to talk a little bit about
I think these are
goals
developer
and also a little
interviews
bit
where they
about,
just talk
some
about
Paragon
their game.
changes that are coming with the character progression updates. Yeah, so really when we were thinking about these changes, we took a bird's eye view and we wanted to think about how can we make put the power in the player's hands of how they want to interact with the challenge that Diablo IV provides in the game. We wanted to make sure that you could opt in to your challenge level that you're comfortable with so that you can set your own pace in any activity throughout all of Diablo IV.
Oh, you're interested in learning
so
about the new World of Warcraft game?
basically,
Awesome,
you know, if
Sienna.
you've played Season 4 Loot Reborn, or you've played
I
some
will
in Season
talk
5,
about
you
what
might be familiar with the
Zenless
Profane
Zero's about
Mind
on
Cage.
another stream because
That's an item that allows you
I'm
in the
assuming
Helltides
people are
to
coming in and out of the
up
stream
the level of
and
the
they want to
monsters,
like
up the difficulty,
hear
but you get
what's
more
going on at
rewards as
Gamescom,
well.
so I don't want
And
to
we've kind of
interrupt that
applied
by
that philosophy
talking about,
throughout all
like,
of
a game
Diablo
that I don't think they're going to
You can
cover
kind of opt
Zenless Zone very
into
much
your
on
own challenge
Gamescom.
and then get
But
more
thank you
stuff
guys for the
because of it.
questions about that.
And then alongside that, we also have a lot of changes coming.
Oh, they're
to,
also going to be talking
Paragon.
about Genshin
We wanted
Impact
to
updates
add
on this.
depth and choice to the Paragon system, but we know that it's pretty daunting for some people, right? So we wanted to make sure that while we were doing that, we weren't increasing the complexity, right? We want to make sure that it's still very, like, that it's an approachable thing, but there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with it. And I could go on forever and ever and ever about this for hours. But we're going to have a lot more details in a developer live stream on August 29th. We're going to have a campfire chat where we're going to be talking all about the specifics of these things.
Awesome. I'm absolutely buzzing to see it.
I mean, the best
Alright,
way to
I've
phrase
got
it is like what Season
oh, yeah,
4
guys,
did to Loot, Season
I
6 will
guess
do to
I'm gonna,
progression.
Excellent.
And the thing too, but
I'm
let's go
just
back
gonna
to the
keep
Party
that
Finder,
in
like
the
there's things that people look at, like what's part
Alright,
of the expansion and what's not.
have-
Party
okay,
Finder
I have
is
a
coming to the
tiny-
game, not just
I
to the
have a
expansion.
link
So,
for the
and what's great about it is not only can you access it through the social menu
like
that you can
games
see,
that are
or you can access
announced,
through
and I
your
will put
remote
it
wheel,
right
you
in
can
the
actually
top of
access
the-
from the map. So when you
That way
say,
you
oh, I'm
guys
going to go
can
do this dungeon,
easily,
you can say, and list it as a party that people come join me in this dungeon. So it's a
You guys
feature that's
can
going to
easily
apply to
find
the
that
entire
link.
game.
Excellent.
That way I can
Yeah, and
put
I
the
should
light
also
bulb
mention, in
tabs
addition
so
to
that I
Dark
can
Citadel,
get
we have
more
another
likes.
mode that we're bringing to the table, which is called Undercity. And Undercity is a time dungeon where you want to beat it before the timer runs out. And that mode has modifiable rewards. So you get these things called tributes, and depending on which tribute you use, you can modify and scale your rewards with the difficulty. It's a really cool mode. We're really excited. And one of the reasons we built these two modes is this concept of new ways to play. Right? People love our game. They love Nightmare Dungeons. They love Whispers. They love Helltides. But what we really want to do is make sure we have enough canvas so that every user can find something that is uniquely suited to them. And that's what New Ways to Play is all about.
Me and my friends, we just love being able to have a bit of choice, which is really fun in Infernal Hordes in the current season, for example, and being able to tailor exactly how messed up we want this level to get is really fun. So the fact that it's getting applied to more aspects of Diablo that's awesome to hear. But between now and the Season 6 launch and Vessel of Hatred, what other activities can players get up to whilst they wait?
I mean, really, it's jumping into Season 5. You know, like you were talking about, Season 5 continues the pace of Season 4. You can level up really fast. It's very exciting. The Infernal Hordes is a great new mode. Which
So
is
fun.
Like, you know, it's sort of a horde mode where wave after wave are coming after. You can go and fight the Fell Council to get your rewards from that. But that's really the big thing. And like, just even if you haven't played through the campaign yet, that's one of the nice things about on the Vessel of Hatred is that it is a continuation of that story. So where Grail left at the end of the game, you can pick that story up and you get to continue and play. So if you haven't played through the campaign yet, now's a great time. And I would be, you know, I have to also do the pitch, right? Like,
and great to see everyone. Hi, Shadow Trooper.
it's an
Hi,
awesome time to
Timmy.
pre-purchase the
great,
expansion. You know, one of the things we had some great incentives before, where you get the new cat mount, you get new armor, you get pets now, you get Snow Leopard and the Tiger that'll follow you around and pick up stuff for you. But with last night, we actually added two more, where not only do you have Angel Wings that we had before, we added Demon Wings last night. So if you've already, so if you've already pre-purchased, you'll get your Demon Wings. They're coming, or they're there. But it's a good time. And then we actually added with the Deluxe and the Ultimate Edition, we've actually added 1 month of Ultimate Game Pass. So if you haven't, you know, jumped in yet, or if you want to add an extra month onto your subscription, you know, pick up, you know, the pre-purchase, and you'll get an extra month. I already got my code last night. I
they
I
do
watched
have
the show, got back to my hotel room,
things
and
where they
there
have
was my
like a
code for
stage
month
and they
Ultimate, so
show
it was awesome.
Now you'll find
trailers
some
just
other
like
games
at
to play while you're on
E3.
that as well.
Yeah, well,
in between Diablo.
But I don't know if
Is
this
that
is just
possible?
a
I don't know.
section of
That's true. I mean,
Gamescom
I've
that
already
they're
put in
just
quite a
doing
few hours
developer
into the current
interviews.
season, and
They
yeah,
usually
it's
have an indie
so much fun
showcase at
as is, and I just
Gamescom
can't
as
wait to
well,
see
like towards the end of
season
it.
6 drop as well.
I'm gonna
and
actually look at the
Vessel's
schedule for the
looking
week so I
great,
can let you
new
guys
cast
know
as
what's
well. I mean,
happening for that.
Thank you so much.
I don't know what else I'm going to play in the meantime.
Yeah,
You guys
the
have just
Diablo
killed all
stuff
my
is
things.
Well, it's
interesting.
great. One
Luke's,
of the nice things is we have a
Luke's
demo down
dad
on
is
the
a
booth here.
huge
That's
fan
we
of
have the whole
Diablo.
Hantu corrupted,
It's like a dungeon
temple.
crawler,
And it's actually got a 20-minute demo of the Spiritborn. And what's
and,
great about it is
you know,
go
there's
in
a
and
lot of
you
like
can
kind of
pick whether you want
creepy,
to be a
gory
gorilla
things in it,
type or a centipede type
vampires
or a
and
jaguar type or an eagle type.
you know, like
based
lots
on
of
the
blood.
Spirit Guardians. But then when it sort of clicks in
creepy
after you play it
demons
for a
to
little bit,
fight
like,
and
wait,
stuff. So
these
I
aren't
mean,
four
it's a
different classes.
very
This is one
it's a
class
series
with
that's
this
been going
amount
on
of
for a long
variety that I can
time,
apply
and
to
people
it. And
really
so
like
you
it.
can
Like
go
people
in and
get
double
really
down on the
into
jaguar,
it.
like my shirt
Oh,
says.
there
like,
was somebody
if you can
dressed
be a
as a
jaguar, be a
stormtrooper.
jaguar.
That looks cool.
Right? Like, but you know, you also can be you can mix and match. You can be half centipede, half gorilla, and create really cool mixtures and unique play styles. And so, you know, it's really exciting to watch
Honestly,
people
so
get
far
their
this
hands on. It's the
Gamescom
first
looks
place
a
that,
lot more
you know,
professional than the last
able to
one.
play, and it's
Last
been
year's
fun
I
just to
felt
watch
was a
them
little
play.
like
Well,
crazy,
half
like
centipede and half gorilla is a disturbing
that
image.
girl with the yellow hair
Yeah,
was
thanks
kind
a
of
lot.
wearing
You were gonna
like
stick around, so we
some
need to talk
very
about that.
torn up jeans
Rex,
to the
Aislinn,
point where
thanks so much
her
for joining
jeans
us.
were like shredded.
Changing gears now,
They
though,
were
we
just
are, for those of
falling
you who
off
have been counting
everywhere,
down the
and
days
like
to September's Diablo Immortal
like
major
I
update,
like, I mean,
we've got a
I
sneak
guess
peek
I'm a
at the
stickler for
making
like
of Immortal's
because I used to
hellish
work at a
bosses,
bank, but I kind
including
of
the
like it when
rebirth of
people
the
dress
Dark
a little
Lord of
bit more
Terror
professionally.
himself.
But that's just me. That's because I'm an old fogey, but I, you know.
These are unspeakable
I feel like
horrors
this is
that you
kind
are
of what
fighting.
Luke and I would do when we used to go to PAX East, where we would sit down with developers and we would put the microphone in front of them. They would tell us about their game. We would ask them,
we have to deliver
you know, like how many players is the game? When will the game release?
I think
What can you tell us about the game? What is your passion for making this game?
everybody's
What did you want the
personal
player to
horror
feel when
stories.
playing it?
So we're like 50
you know,
bosses
what
now.
new
Some of our bosses
innovations
World are
in the game
incredibly
have you
and we're really
made, or
proud to
what
be
is
able to
unique about your
actually
game?
have
So
the
we would ask them
ability
different
to
things
bring
like
Diablo
that, and they
back
would just
into
talk
our
about their game
universe.
in an
Everything that
interview.
Diablo
And
does,
you
everything
can
that
see some
Diablo
of those older
says
interviews on
needs
the
to be
Nightwing 01
unnerving,
channel that
terrifying.
I was holding the camera for all of those.
Battle.
So this is exactly what Luke and I used to do at game conventions. This is like very normal for game journalists to do. Just sit there with the camera and just ask the developer to just talk about their game.
Is usually quite
Summoning
organic.
Hex Legions.
It really depends on the boss. Sometimes
What did I think
it
of Summer
starts
Game
with
Fest?
a
I thought it was
cool
awesome, Sharon.
mechanical idea.
I
Sometimes
enjoyed it.
it starts with kind of a narrative germ.
The story team is going to have a lot of say in terms of
I'm
like,
not a huge
what
fan of
is
Diablo.
the fiction
Like, I
behind
don't
the
really
boss?
like
And so what is the feel
games
behind
with
the
a ton of
boss?
like demons and blood and gore. So I probably wouldn't play something like
Some
this
zones,
if it was
we are
cuter
going
with
to
more colorful
lavish
characters,
incredible build-up on a boss,
like
especially
Skylanders.
the
I would
final
probably
boss.
play
In
it.
Tristram Cathedral,
But like
before you
with
fight
all this
Albrecht,
blood and
the
everything,
first
I
Shardborn,
couldn't. I don't
there's a
think I
whole
could play
quest
this.
line that has you
But a
exploring
lot of
the
people
ruins
really
of the
like
Orc
this
Manor
game
and
series a
learning
lot.
about his past.
They,
And so at the
you
end,
know, like
when you
I'm
face
surprised
him,
that
there's
Luke's
this
dad is a
context
huge
and kind of a
Diablo
richness to the things that
enthusiast
he's
because
saying
he's
to
a
you.
pastor. But I guess he really enjoys the game
That
a
if you
lot.
aren't paying attention to the dialogue, will
You
maybe
never
resonate
know
a
what
little bit more
you never
emotionally.
quite know what somebody's really gonna like playing. You know, people just play a kind of game to relax. It's not real life. It's just fantasy. So it's not like you're really summoning demons or slaying
and how
them.
they
You're,
feel
it's just
the
a video
battle should
game.
go, then they get all that together and then it gets passed off to art.
When it comes to designing a Diablo boss, there definitely is a long
list of visual elements that we go to. Spikes.
Name all the languages
demon
I
horns,
speak.
rotten
Robbie.
skin,
Robbie.
decaying skin, burnt
I
skin,
speak
different
English
diseased
and
skin.
a little
How do we
Spanish.
stretch the
I
skin
can
out
speak
to
a
make it
little
look
bit of
really
German.
uncomfortable. We take different parts of the body and then we twist them
And I
in
have
very
taken a
uncomfortable,
lot of
awkward
different
ways. We
languages
love
on
using
Duolingo, so
different
I know a little
humanoid bodies
Chinese.
and then almost
Shishi
melting them
in
together.
Chinese
The
means
intention
thank
in
you. I can
creating
say
Diablo
I can
bosses
speak a little
is
German.
to instill a
Danke.
general feeling of unease. So if it starts to feel like we have pushed it too
English
hard,
and I don't
that's
know,
usually
probably,
the,
and
the
then
comfort
Spanish.
spots.
I can speak
We have so many
a
different
fair amount. I can
representations
understand
of
what most,
evil and
like if
horror,
I hear
so
conversation
no
in
matter who you are,
Spanish,
no matter where you're
I can
from,
I
you
can
always
understand
bet that there is something in our game that is
to a
going
degree
to
what
terrify
people
you.
are saying. Like, hola,
So we have many different kinds of
¿cómo
bosses in
estás?
Diablo. Bosses that are almost too
Muy
big for the
bien.
level. They're not mobile.
you only see the top half of their bodies.
Hola,
We have
amigos.
tanks where the
Yeah,
main
so
goal
yeah, I
is
mean,
to
I can
just
pretty
get
much
this big, giant hunk
hold
of
a
meat
very
and
slow
beat
conversation.
it up until it dies. We have co-op bosses that are, you know, better with friends, working together as a team to really take on these puzzles
World
that
of
the bosses
Warcraft
present.
looks like Child's
And then we
Play
have
comparison,
mind-bending
definitely
bosses
Miss
that
Deanna.
really change
Yeah,
the way you
Diablo's
play the
pretty
game, what your
creepy.
perception is of the boss.
Hi, Gerald.
But my favorite boss in the game
And then
is
people have
the
taught
Butcher.
me things in other languages. Like people have. Oh, and I know a tiny bit of Korean from Korean
was
drama.
quite a journey for us
안녕하세요.
because it is such a beloved
I know how to say
character
hi.
in the
How are
Diablo
you in
lore.
Korean?
You know, when I was playing
안녕하세요.
Diablo 1 for the first time, there was this shock associated with encountering
Spoken
the
is more
Butcher.
difficult,
You
but you
open
could
the door,
understand written.
he
Yeah,
steps
that
out,
makes sense,
he's
Sharon.
cleaving you very, very fast.
Yeah, if
You're
people
like,
behind
"I've
me
never
are
seen
holding a
anything like this
conversation
before.
in Spanish,
What
I'll
the hell is
catch
happening?
like
I'm
certain
dead."
things they're saying.
We
like,
wanted the Butcher to be the real Butcher
they're
from the
talking
first
about
Diablo.
dinero,
So
money, or
it was
food,
kind of like,
or
how
they have
do
to
we
go to-
bring him
you know, like I can
into
just
our
like,
game, and what can we
you know,
make
they can
more
talk
special
about certain
about this
things, and I
particular
kind of
encounter?
get
Our
the
Butcher
gist of what
is
they're
super
saying.
intimidating. He's a gigantic boss, towering above the player.
This is the Butcher that was basically too angry to die. He's just shoving his guts back in. He's got the chain that he throws. He's got the rush. He's got the fire coming out of the ground. And it's just a fun, nostalgic fight. We've been building towards this encounter with Diablo since the launch of the game.
Diablo is the Lord of Terror. His food and drink is the fear of other beings.
He has this very recognizable silhouette with his giant horns on his head and also down his back. He has this very intimidating smile that is signature to Diablo.
Diablo having a World Stone shard means he's entering the nuclear age. He is now walking around with a weapon of mass destruction to bend reality, to perhaps create new realities.
The whole team is excited. It's electric. Getting to bring back Big Red and then unleash him not just on one boss fight,
Alright,
but
so
on
I'm
an
on a
entire
website right
zone,
now. It's saying
on
what to expect during
Sanctuary
the
itself.
Xbox Day
This Diablo
showcase.
is going to
Games
deliver a
expected
very
are
epic
Diablo
experience,
IV Vessel
as
of
good as
Hatred,
any other Diablo game.
Avowed,
It's going to be
Diablo
the
Immortal,
best
The
Diablo
Elder
ever.
Scrolls Online,
I said it here
World of
first.
Warcraft: The War
It is
Within,
going to be possibly the
Fallout
most
76,
difficult battle
Towerborn,
in the game
Aura,
ever.
History Untold, Age of Mythology Retold.
Well, they're
World
called
of
Lilith's
Warcraft
Mightiest
War Within
Warriors,
will
and
be the-
I'm not just talking about our guests here, but joining us once again. This time to tell us more about what we just saw. We've got Diablo's GM Rod Ferguson, and please welcome Diablo Immortal's executive producer, Pei Wen Yao.
Hi.
Thanks so much for joining us, Pei Wen.
Thanks for having me.
What the hell was that all about? Are you kidding me? That's got huge implications for the lore of Diablo.
So
because
two different
you're
Diablo
bringing him back.
games.
Yeah, well,
Tell me about this.
I mean, it's a thing that I don't think everybody really knows what Diablo Immortal is, really. So let's start with there.
Okay, fair.
Like, I think Diablo Immortal, the way to think about Diablo Immortal is our free-to-play offering in Diablo. It's a way to bring more players in. We wanted to go where the players are, and we were like, okay, not everybody is part of the mainline Diablo 4 world. So this is a way to reach players where they are. And so we have this great free-to-play, huge campaign, over 11 zones. You get 8 classes. We just added
This
2 over the
showcase
last
is
2
going
years.
until 5
The
p.m.
best, yes,
The best class.
I don't know how we're gonna
Blood
do
Knight
this
and the Tempest
showcase
are
till
new
5
classes,
p.m.
and so it's really an exciting time. And so the story, the campaign, which
I'm
is
gonna
again
have
over
to
these
take a
11 zones,
break.
is basically you're working with Decker
This
King.
showcase
Demon
is
Star.
going from
Now, what's happened
9
is that this
a.m.
takes
in the
place
morning
between
till
Diablo
5
2
p.m. in
and
the
Diablo
afternoon
3.
will be
So that's why
Xbox's
Decker Kane's still alive.
Gamescom
and we're able to bring,
showcase.
Diablo back. So it's a really exciting time, and this is what this whole
So
year
I
has
do
been
not
leading up to.
know
This is the year of the
how
age
long
of
the
unmaking.
stream is
This is the
going to be.
return of
9?
Diablo, and
That's-
they've been building
that would
towards
be-
it for like over the last couple of years
That would
now.
be an 8-hour stream.
Yeah, totally. I think, you can tell Diablo is very, very major character in the Diablo franchise, and we have that on our splash screen all the time. So I don't know if it's a plan, but this is truly the most important chapter of the story, that where it starts. And Diablo is very, very significant because it's one of the original antagonists. It's one of the 3 prime evils. So I think in the history of Diablo story, Diablo world is Diablo has this reputation of corrupting people's minds, corrupting humanity, and twist people's minds. So when it comes down to the word, that means something is really going down.
Sienna says, haha, I laughed out loud. I laughed so hard when you mentioned Fallout 76. Microsoft is really going to promote the worst Fallout game to exist.
We're really honored
what?
to be
That's
here
like
at Gamescom.
Nintendo wanting
Rob
to bring back
mentioned,
the Virtual
Diablo Immortal
Boy.
is our first take of mobile version of Diablo World, on the phone, on the smartphone. So our mission is to reach more audience, and that's why we come here at Gamescom. Today we brought into a beautiful booth right here.
That's great.
Yeah, this is one of the most important content and gameplay in our game called the H.A.L.K.E.R boss.
Thank you, Miss Diana,
so
you're
H.A.L.K.E.R boss in our game
breathtaking.
is basically,
So I just looked on the
it represents
website of
your
Gamescom.
Power. It represents your power progression.
If
because
you
all
are
those
in the
bosses
area,
are
if
your
you are
power
in the
gates. You
area
have to
of
beat
Germany
them
or whatever,
in order to get
at
to
the
the
time,
next
if you
difficulty
can
level.
get a plane
So
ticket
as you
there,
go through the game, you
it
will
is
feel
open
you're
to the
getting
public.
stronger, and you're going to more difficulty level. You
It
get more
only
stuff,
costs
the
you
loot and the
$29.50.
dungeon and the
Public ticket
most
costs
important thing about Diablo
$29.50
Immortal is that
or $10
we want
after
to create
4
this
p.m.
social, very sociable,
E3 is
very
way more
lifestyle kind of
expensive
gameplay.
than
So
that. I
for
think it's like
H.A.L.K.E.R boss,
hundreds
you
of
can
dollars
actually
to get in
bring-
if you
can
don't have
either
a
play
press
solo,
badge.
or you can bring your friends
And
over
it's
there.
thousands
and
of
that's what we
dollars
bring
for a
here.
booth at
We
E3.
built a tournament that 4 players
well,
come in
E3
to the
would be even
booth
more
and you can
expensive.
play, and
Thousands of dollars
you
for a
can
booth
just
at
rank on the leaderboard and get awesome rewards.
Yeah, you have to beat 2 bosses, so there's like the 2 phases. You have to beat 2 bosses, and right now the fastest is about 2 minutes 45 to get through.
Think I got a shot?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
That's pretty nice.
But anyway, you can do it. But
$10
it's
after 4
really
p.m.
interesting
to get into
that what
Gamescom.
Hayden was talking about. There's been over 50 bosses
So if you're in the
made
area,
in
you
this sort of these
just pay
H.A.L.K.E.R
$10
bosses,
and
and
get
it's
in.
really
That's pretty
exciting to see. It's part of the progression. So it's always fun to have these new and interesting and different types of fights to have, and the fact that it's on mobile but also on PC. Like you can play free to play on PC today, and it's a great experience.
So players at home can also still experience the H.A.L.K.E.R bosses right now, or is
yeah.
Same content,
Awesome.
same game, and cross progression, cross play.
So tell me about then the build up to
I
Diablo's
can look
return.
and
What can
try
players
to see the
expect to?
schedule.
What kind of content can they get into right now and in the lead up to that content dropping?
Yeah,
It
so
says
next few months
game-
it's gonna be,
okay,
like I said, it's
Diablo
gonna be the
4,
most exciting
Monster Hunter
story
Wilds,
chapter of Diablo
Dragon Ball,
Immortal.
Sparking
It's
Zero,
gonna divide
Marvel
into,
Rivals,
like
and
the main
more
quest
until
line, the storyline is gonna divide into 2
until-
parts. So we're gonna keep some in the
until
future.
5 or
but
6
The
p.m.
latest one that's
Eastern
gonna come
time.
up is in September. It's a release we're gonna call we call it Crucible of Justice. This is where the story we're gonna review a very, very powerful weapon. It's called the Eldrim. It's a holy sword. And the player is going to go through
all right,
the
now I
mission,
can
the
see there is
quest
a
of
schedule here.
purify that sword, and that sword is the secret weapon to kill Diablo. So you have to find the sword and purify it, goes through the ritual. And for player, the ritual, I think if you play Diablo Immortal, player is the hero. You play the hero, you save the sanctuary, you save the humanity, but the
6
sanctuary is
6
corrupted.
a.m.
It's dark,
post-standard
and
time,
that
9
darkness
a.m.
casts into players as well. So the ritual of purifying this
9 a.m.
Eldrim is
until-
actually a symbolic move of player that they willing
So
to sacrifice themselves
this
for the
section will go 9
humanity,
a.m.
and they
until 1
want to
p.m.
prove themselves
will be
to
the
be
first
worthy
section.
to use the Eldrim, the holy sword,
So
to
this
kill Diablo.
first section
so
will
that
go.
is the first part of the September release, and then we're gonna save the second
This
part
will be a
to the
4-hour
December,
stream
our
probably.
holiday
I don't
time, and
know.
we're gonna release
I
the
might have to
second
cut it
part,
off
which is the
before
most
4
exciting
hours
part,
because I
that
shouldn't
you
do
finally
4-hour
gonna face the
stream.
Diablo. And
But
with
this
the Diablo
stream
boss
is gonna
itself,
go.
we
This
also
section
introduced
of
a
Xbox is
amazing
gonna
zone.
go till
It's
1.
called the War's Crown. Zone
1
is one
p.m.
of our
Eastern
very, very
time.
important content in the game as well.
Day
it's
1
beautifully
of
designed.
coverage
Not
will
traditional
be
concept of beautiful, but it's
Diablo
live.
4, Monster Hunter Wilds,
I'm a little concerned.
Dragon Ball, Sparking Zero, Marvel Rivals,
It's
and
beautifully
from
designed.
they said
it's
from 9 a.m.
very,
until
dedicatedly,
till
created.
1 p.m.
And it's
is going
icy,
to be
it's barren, and
Stalker
it's that
2,
way
Heart of
because Diablo
Chernobyl,
travels
AtomFall,
through that
Age of
continent
Mythology.
and transform the place.
It's very
so it's like
confusing
very
what they're
depressing,
saying.
all the cast coming down to the
I'm on-
earth.
I'm on
well, that's
several
why
different
players are here
websites.
to save the world. Yeah, and when player travels through this War's Crown, you're gonna encounter a lot of enemies. You're gonna defeat
So
them.
I don't know.
Eventually,
There's
you're
so
gonna
many different
encounter
games they're
Diablo
throwing
as
out
the
here
final
that
boss.
they're saying they're
I
going
mean,
to show.
Tyrael. Like Tyrael
Yeah.
is like when you think about like recognizable characters in the Diablo lore, Tyrael, the Angel of Justice, is one of the top ones. And so this is what's really neat about the story, is that it takes Tyrael's sword,
Hi,
Eldruin,
Ultra Nerd, how's
and
it
that's the sword
going?
you have to use to defeat Diablo. And so that
Hi,
whole
Ultra
idea of,
Nerd.
hey, while I've been fighting Skarn and getting these World Stone shards, I've become corrupted and I have to get purified over in the Cold Isles so that I can actually
thank
be
you again,
worthy
our
of this
Serial, for
sword.
being a member
And taking that
for,
sword and then being able to use it against Diablo
for
is just a really
40
cool
months,
moment.
and
I
thank
mean, you said in the
Sienna,
video as
for
well
the
that this fight with
$10
Diablo will
super
be
chat.
the
Appreciate your help so
toughest
much.
fight players of them. I mean, is that
and
true?
our Serial, thank you
What
guys.
are you possibly throwing out? Because you also just showed us like
I
a
just
20-foot
found out
butcher.
that-
So,
yeah,
well, I mean, what's Diablo?
So
What's he
Sienna
going
was
to do to us?
saying, she laughed
Anything
out
you can
loud.
share
They're
there?
going to promote the
Oh,
worst
well,
Fallout.
I'm gonna see how much I'm gonna spoil here.
Well,
but,
maybe it won't be in the
yeah,
morning.
Diablo
Maybe
boss
they'll
is
do it
going
in the
to be
afternoon.
the
I don't
hardest
know.
one that they're
I'm
gonna
just on the
encounter.
website right now. It's just
because
very
Diablo is such a
confusing.
classic character, so we
I
still
kind
take a
of
lot of
copied from the
classic
Microsoft
skills
website
from Diablo.
what
so
they said about
you
their
know,
own
it's still
thing.
featuring
And then I
fire,
was on
lightning.
IGN's
So if you
website
go to
for
the
a minute,
battle,
but I
have
mainly
some
copied it
equipment,
from
have some
Xbox
gears that
website.
with the fire and lightning resistance will be helpful.
I remember.
Yeah, and because you're bringing the Eldrim to the battle, right? So
2 p.m.
when Diablo calls
Yeah,
all
so
his
they're
Diablo
saying okay, so
soldiers,
IGN's website
and they will
says they'll be
swarm
till
over to you,
going till
and
6.
you have to beat them
Microsoft's
really, really
website
fast,
says they're going
and that
until
beat
5.
up of those enemies
So
actually gonna recharge
I'm gonna go with
your
Microsoft's
Eldrim.
website
It's
on
gonna
this.
it's gonna make the Eldrim ready to, you know, make it good use. So yeah, and by the end, I'm not gonna hint the real end.
Oh, come on.
The real end, you're gonna see this beautiful cinematics. It shows how player take Eldrim and eventually kill the Diablo. So
That's
yeah.
all so exciting. I can't wait to. Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to go and set a time on the booth to make sure I get a chance at that leaderboards. But I want to thank you both.
So we have the Inarius statue, you know, the really big one that's the size of the
Yeah,
You know, I want it.
Yeah, nah, you're gonna fight me for it. I'm taking it.
I can't. They're gonna kick me
That's
out.
what we're doing straight afterwards. We're all going down, yeah, and I'm going to come out on top, all right? Well, thanks so much for joining us. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Gamescom as well. Coming up, though, the team from STALKER 2 is here with the latest from the sequel,
yeah, it's possible
Heart
I
of
could take a
Chornobyl.
break
Sick.
and then
Plus,
do
we've
it
also got to look
again
at the newest
1.
Xbox
It's
accessories
very
that are enabling
possible,
players everywhere to play the way
it's
that they
very
want.
possible,
And later on, we're going to
Sharon.
explore the newest Starfield
Yeah, I could always
expansion,
stream
Shattered
until
Space, and find out
noon and
why
then,
fans everywhere are setting
like, take a
aside gigs of
15-minute
space to
break and then
explore
just start
even
streaming
more
again or
this epic open world. But first, do you know what's great? Xbox Game Pass. Yeah, take a look at this.
Welcome to the gameplay commentary of our new game, Lonely Mountain Snowriders, which is the spiritual successor to Lonely Mountains Downhill. It's a skiing game in which players need to find their own way down the mountains in a wild and beautiful mountainscape. Our most important new features are a real-time online multiplayer in which up to 8 players can play cooperatively or in a competition, as well as a new trick system that allows you to pull off awesome-looking flips,
I don't think they're gonna
spins,
show off
grabs,
another
or super cool
Starfield. I think
combinations
they're
of
adding
moves.
to the current Starfield
We focused
game,
a lot
as
of
far
the
as I could
development
tell,
time
Miss
on the
Diana.
controls and to
I
make
was on the
feeling
Xbox
of charting
website
down
and they
slopes as
seem
smooth
to be
and
showing
fun as
a
possible.
vehicle and maybe other things they're
Skiing
going to
is
add
all
to the
about
current
using the terrain
Starfield
in
game
your favor.
or
You need
updates
to gain
to
the
it. That's
maximum
my
momentum
impression of it.
to do the longest jumps and use the best shortcuts. On top of that, you can also do tricks, ride backwards, or cross rivers and icy lakes.
Well, this game looks interesting, kind of cute.
The game
This
features
game kind
4
of reminds me
different
of a
games.
ski game on
The
my
online
computer
multiplayer racing mode is all about
back in
crossing
like
the finish line
the
first.
90s or whatever.
While in the team mode, you and your team members have to ride and do tricks
Called, like,
together to ramp up the
free
highest
ski or
score and
something.
beat all the challenges. You can also pick each other up after a crash and place checkpoints as a group.
Oops, you can like hit people's skis.
In the solo mode, you have to beat challenges to unlock new mountains and trails. You can also try to reach the top of the leaderboards, or beat your own ghosts. This is the mode that will be most familiar to players of our previous game. And last but not least, there's the new Zen mode. Here, you can ride all trails without any kind of pressure and freely explore the mountains to find secret spots or just enjoy the beautiful landscape. Whether you're playing multi or single player, you will gain experience to level up your profile, unlock new ski types and trick poses, and a large variety of customization items.
I mean, this game looks kind of peaceful.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this video.
Watch out for the Yeti and Ski Free, that's right. Hey, Nani Nani. Yep, I remember that Yeti. Yeah.
I like it. I'm a cut piece if I like it.
Yes, I remember the Yeti that gets you. Yeah, Ski Free, that's what it was called. Hey, Nani Nani, remember? Yay! Alright, now they're showcasing a bunch of stuff. Well, I guess I'm gonna be here. I'm your host all day, guys and gals, if you guys want to come by while you're eating lunch or whatever. There's the new Star Wars game coming out, Forza. Call of Duty Black Ops, which looks a 6, which looks really great, but too violent for me, but looks amazing.
The Xbox Game Pass hype is real, and right now it's easier than ever to join the party, especially if you play on PC. Why? Because PC Game Pass is designed for PC players. Get new games on day one like Call of Duty Black Ops 6 on October 25th. Play some of the biggest games of the year and unlock partner benefits from Riot Games and EA Play. And if you're not already a PC Game Pass member, join now and get your first month of PC Game Pass for $1 or €1. This offer won't last long, so act now. But first, this post-apocalyptic horror action title is set against 64 kilometers of eerie, explorable area. It's also one of the most anticipated games of the year, and here to bring us back into the zone with some never-before-seen gameplay of Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl, please welcome game director Eugene Grigorovich. Eugene, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for inviting.
No, honestly, it is so exciting. We've got it on the booth here at Gamescom. I've been able to get hands on. I'm so excited for you to take us through what you've brought with us today. But how's your first Gamescom?
The previous was a year ago when we bring our demo, which was shown just on the PC.
Yeah.
And today we are bringing another demo, which we launch on Xbox Series X. And from our experience, it's looking very good. And we are happy for what we bring here and what we get the first impression from the players and the press. And till now, I'm happy from what they are telling us about the Xbox build.
Yeah, honestly, I got to have hands-on with it, and it is so much fun. Because what we're going to do as well is we're going to hop straight into the gameplay that you're going to talk us through. So anyone watching who's excited to see Stalker 2 for the first time, if they haven't already, can see what they're going to be getting their hands on. So what are you are we going to bring the gameplay up? So we've got it on our screens. So as we go, if you want to talk us through this gameplay, so we can know what we've got coming up.
Yeah. I'll take this part. So here the player is doing his first quest, and he got a scanner, a device. Player at this point doesn't know a lot about how it works and what it's for. He just got information that it somehow recharged an artifacts that's put it inside it, and that if it got successful, it's gonna bring a lot of let's say money.
Yeah.
Maybe something else. So at this point, player don't know what is the goal of the character, why he's doing it, and he's learning the story about your character also by doing this quest line.
Because this is actually the bit that they've got on the show floor here, isn't it? At the start of the game. Because I had so much fun. I get what you mean as well when you're just trying to discover what exactly it does, and the storyline sets that up. But what about the combat in the game as well? Because we can kind of see our first fight here.
Yeah. So it's a group of bandits. They were resting just nearby in their camp and doing their cheeky-breaky stuff. And then they saw that something happened. A wall was destroyed with a huge noise. They just turned up going to see what's happening and found you. a player.
I forgot
and
what game he's doing. I think it's called.
It's
Duty, but I
amazing
don't
as well
know.
because I found myself when I was playing this I was like the flashlight turning on and off, and like you can also like lean around corners, can't you, to kind of like engage fights from like a bit of cover.
Yeah, so it's very important in this game to have a proper tactics. You should hide a lot. You should use your medkits. You should survive grenades because AI is very pushing and challenging.
Yeah.
They trying to outcome you to go from other side, and it's pretty stressful. So it's a first fight. It's very simple fight against 3 bandits, but as from what we can see, it's often lead you to several deaths.
It's very unforgiving as well, and we just see as well. I found that it's like a big part of the game is like looting. So what kind of things should people be looking out for when they're looting?
Yeah, so the part of the game, so while we are fighting, we are losing our resources, consumables, food, ammo, and after the fight finished, we have to get through the dead bodies' pockets to find some ammunition.
Miss So
maybe
this is
leave
actually
their
Stalker
camp
2.
to restore what
Thank
we
you,
just
Miss Sienna,
spent.
appreciate
because
that.
without it, we just
All right,
run
so we are
out
playing
of
Stalker
ammo,
2
and
with the developer
the player
interview.
would be like stuck.
Because that's the big thing I have. I am very trigger happy when it comes to first-person shooters. Like, I fire way more bullets than I should. And then I found myself as well. I was like, I need to go check every building that I can because I need more ammo. Like, what kind of advice would you say for players hopping into Stalker 2 to spend their time in the world?
So, the reason why you should
Yeah, the sound is way off, so they're on the wrong person when they're
some
talking.
stashes in locations is not because you just want to find some items, but because it's interesting to discover this abandoned place where was some living some time ago, and where is some story behind it. And when you are just walking around and looking for the corners, and it's beautiful there, you can surprisingly find something stashed there, because it's an STALKER stashes. They use some stashes for their next journeys, because they can bring like hundreds of thousands of kilograms. They have to make some stashes for there, and players sometimes find them, and it's often rewardable.
And congrats on your new phone, Brandon.
And
That
often
sounds
it's
great.
very rewardable, because you can get a huge equipment boost by just going to some building you didn't expect to find anything there, but it could be there.
That's what I found. I found myself like an assault rifle when I just had a pistol to start with. I was like exploring buildings and found that.
I think
but
I
the game
will only
also,
be able to cover
it looks
this
amazing.
Yeah, this is the start of the
3:30 or
next
4 because
fight.
we do have to stream at.
The player.
Usually we
have
stream at
some
4:15.
stealth
so
mechanics.
Yep.
So
it all
it's
depends.
not,
Like I'll probably
very,
get Luke up and ask him what he wants
as
to
you
do.
used to have a stealth in the game.
Later
it doesn't
in the
offer
afternoon,
you
but I'll
like
just stream
ability
this all
to be
day
invisible
until at least
for enemies.
3:30.
No, they will see you and shoot you.
If he
but
wants
at
to
least,
delay the rest
it
of our
allows you to
streams
get
and
slightly
have our stream
closer
start at
to find
6:30
better
instead
position to
of
start the fight.
4:15,
or maybe
and
to start
we could
initiate
cover
the
more
fight
of the
with the
Gamescom
grenade
today.
So it would be easier for you, and then the fight is pretty challenging.
Yeah.
And you have to watch your hit points and your state, because you could be bleeding, and you have to use a bandage to stop this bleeding, because it's it's gonna last for long, and you're gonna lose a lot of hit points if
I
you
just
not
love
stop
listening
and
to
use the
French
bandages.
accents.
Yeah, because you have multiple ways of healing, don't you? You've
To
got like the
listen
bandages
to.
to stop the bleeding, but there's like different types of med kits that you can find
Yeah,
as well.
you can have a regular med kits, medical med kits, and an army med kit.
Yeah.
And they provide additional boosts, but mostly it's restoring the hit points. But also, if you are not in the fight and you just need to recover a small portion of health, you can just eat, and it will also bring you a small portion of hit points.
See, that's what I loved as well. I found like there's so much resource management that you have to like pay attention to in Stalker, which really gives you a different challenge. So it's like you said, if you don't eat, you're going to perform worse in gunfights.
Yeah, so you have to watch about your state, just like you're watching about yourself. So we try to bring this simulation or atmosphere as you being the real human that goes to Chornobyl Exclusion area with your backpack, with some food, and you just have to do
Marvel
the
Ultimate
same
Alliance
things
is really
to
hard,
survive,
even on friendly mode.
in the game.
I don't know, Ali.
Because you have to eat, you have to sleep. I
mean,
you
games were
have
made
to,
on different
like
difficulty
you fall,
levels
you
back then.
broke your leg, you have to use some
All right, I'm
medkits
gonna look
to
up
survive
stuff
this,
about.
and,
Thank you for watching.
That's what we are doing here.
Yeah, no, I honestly, like, it's one of those things. I'd recommend it to anyone. If you haven't had the chance to just play the original Stalker as well, because when I got to play here, you just think and approach gunfights so differently because there is that like risk element, and some of the enemies, like I was jumping out of my skin because there was like a camouflaged opponent that I came across in the demo here at Gamescom. And like, can you tell us a little bit more about the
Thanks for letting me
enemies
know what
that
the
we're
game
going
was
to
on
face?
Miss Deanna.
Yeah,
Stalker
so
2.
the zone is inhabited by different factions. There are factions that came from the first Stalker trilogy, and there are new factions, and they have a story behind them of
Oh, never
how they
mind, this
appear,
guy
what is
is
their
not
goals, and for the
French.
player, it would
This
be
is a
interesting
Ukrainian
to uncover and
developer.
discover these stories. And it's important to mention that from one walkthrough, the player
This is
won't
a
know the whole
first-person-
story. So you had to have several walkthroughs to get all these pieces
Stalker
together.
is a
or
first-person.
you can,
Oh, this takes
discuss it
place
with your friend who
in the
choose some
Chernobyl
other path,
area.
and you
Stalker
can share,
2: Heart of Chernobyl,
information
next-gen
about
sequel
what
to
you
the
see to
award-winning
each other,
PC
and you
game
uncover,
franchise
oh,
developed by
I didn't expect that it
GSC
would
Game
happen like
World,
this.
set
So
to deliver
it's,
a unique action experience
I
of
find it
survival in the
should be
post-apocalyptic
interesting for people
Chernobyl
to discuss
Exclusive
their
Zone.
experience with each
One-of-a-kind gameplay
Yeah,
featuring
we also
elements of
saw just
first-person
beforehand, right, we
shooter,
can actually see the scanner
immersive
going on right
sim,
now.
and
Talk us
horror,
through this.
playing
It's
a
echo
major
scanner,
part
it's
in
a simple
non-linear
scanner, you just
story
beep,
unfolds.
and the faster it beeps, the nearer
Unreal Engine
is
5.
an artifact.
Yep.
You can collect an artifact just by using scanner, and
Dangerous
at
mutants
this
and
point,
deadly anomalies
player
will not be
face
the
that
only obstacles on your
Bloodsucker
journey.
is
You
a
will
canonical enemy
feel all
in
the
Stalker
grieves of a
series.
new stalker life
he can
while
have an ability
searching and
to become
consuming
invisible
rare
for
and valuable
players,
supplies,
and,
food, drinks,
we found that
medicine.
from the
Survival
feedback of the players
mechanics
and
will
from-
be
from
enriching
what
the
we see that
gameplay.
he's doing quite challenging thing for the players.
It is.
But also it's very rewarding because when you start playing the game
Exclusive to
and you start
Xbox
facing some
and,
challenge for the first time, you may
Steam.
die, second time you may die, but after and after it becomes easier for you, and at some point you become master of the game. Everything is easy for you, but it takes time to learn the game.
This terrified me. Like, honestly, I was there going like, wait, at first I was like, what's attacking me? And I was like, how do I counter this? And I was like, suddenly realized I was a camouflaged opponent.
This will be
attacking
releasing
me.
November
It's like,
20th,
I love that in this game though,
2024.
is there are so many challenging enemy components. Whether you're fighting bandits, whether you're like fighting these sort of enemies. And then I was like looting everything. I became like a loot goblin where I was going into every building and just trying to find as many med kits so that I could stay alive.
And there is also a lot of pieces of content just near the locations. This is not a main quest. It's often not a side quest. It's just some encounters or narrative little stories to bring you an experience of discovering this real location, real zone. And it's not a fake world. It's full of small pieces.
Yeah.
And for me, I find it very interesting to discover, even if I know
Oh
the
wow,
game.
the Stana says, you're
pretty
welcome. I was
much,
surprised this
still
game even
the
got a
world
sequel.
map is so
I remember
huge,
the
so
original
even
being
for
really
me,
scary, and this game
going
is
back to
even
some
scarier than the
locations
original.
Make me feel, oh,
Aw,
I didn't
yeah,
expect to find
definitely
it
Miss
here.
Sienna.
Oh,
Ali
they
says,
bring,
I want to pet the kitty.
something here
Zelda
also.
says, you
So
can
for
give
me
her a
it's
pet.
also,
You can pet the screen if you would like.
Like, I feel the
She's,
same wow effect when I discover something for me.
She's bringing
You really
the
get
cute factor
rewarded
to the
for spending
stream
that time
in the
to
way
look
that I
around the
never
world
could.
and kind of try and find those caches, and it's going to pay dividends.
Yeah, it's one of the main
We'll have to
goal
get a cat cam
in
for our
making
other
this
cat,
game is to
Link,
bring
who's been with us
as
for a
much
year, and he's an
freedom
orange cat.
and,
But this is Zelda. She's 8 years
allow
old now.
player to be
She has
as
been
he
with
wants
us
to be, or
for
she wants
8
to
years.
be,
We've had her since she
to
was
play
4 months
the
old.
role
She was the
they
size of the palm of my
feel,
hand when she first
that works
arrived.
for them.
The day
the player
that we
could,
got her,
like,
the Nintendo
start being
Switch
very
was out, and we
rude
were showcasing it, and she
cruel,
got her
and
foot
they can
stuck in
act totally
the
different in this
couch,
game
which
as,
was like the
like,
we have a
player
pull-out
who
couch
wants to
in our
be,
house,
on the
and
friendly side.
she got
So,
her paw
there are
stuck
a
in
lot
the
of
pull-out
freedom,
couch. We had
it's-
to
and it's
lift the
rewarding.
pull-out couch
So
off
even
the
being
ground.
cruel is
My husband
rewarding,
Luke had to get her paw out of it, untwist
there is
her
a
paw
balance.
from it,
Like, the game
and
will
she
also
bit him
punish you for
because
something.
she was
No,
in
100%,
pain.
and
We
I think
rushed
one
her
of
to
the
the
main things
hospital,
is
and
for
her
everyone
paw
who's
has
been
been
watching
kind of
and wants to
twisted a
get their
little bit
hands
ever
on the
since.
game,
But
when are they
she
gonna
was
be able
able
to
to
play?
get medicine,
November,
and she was all right.
So it's not so time,
And she's
not so
been
much
our
time
little
left.
cat for a long
And
time. She,
for us, we are like
we call her
every day
Jackie
counts.
Chan
We are doing
because
everything
when we would
possible
put a
to
little gate up
bring
so she
the
couldn't
as
get past a
polished
certain
gameplay
area,
as
she would
possible,
literally
and I
walk
hope
up.
you
She would
enjoyed
run up the side of the
I
wall
honestly,
and
from
leap
what I
off the
play
wall
on-
and leap
at
over the gate.
Gamescom,
She was
I
very
can't wait to play
energetic.
it more.
And
But
she was the
thanks so
last
much for
of her
stopping
litter
by.
taken
You can get
because
Stalker
nobody
2
wanted her
Harsh
because
Noble on November
she was so
20th.
energetic.
And of course, it launches day and date on Xbox Game Pass as well. But now to a new line of Xbox accessories making a splash here at Gamescom. Take a look. But thank you so much, VJ. I'm
Thank you.
mate.
Thank you.
Sorry for talking over the Stalker 2 stuff.
Play video games.
Good job.
Leo has issues with his motor ability. He doesn't have access to a lot of things.
There's so many disabled people that deserve a shot to be like everyone else.
I want to be a part of this world.
So this is my Xbox adaptive joystick.
It allows her to use the controller without using both hands.
It just clicked to him. This is a joystick, I manipulate the character, and this is how I'm gonna move myself.
You've got every button covered.
This is how we do it.
This is my thumbstick topper. You can get different sizes, and this is what I use to make it easier to maneuver. You can get bars from the Xbox Design Lab. Then you can go somewhere else and get it printed.
Be yourself, design it how you want. You're playing with your Xbox controller.
Right side, right side.
With the Xbox controller assist, when he needs help, when he gets stuck, I can at least hit the gas for him. Then he can control the rest. Having the joystick levels the playing field for him.
Your character, he can fly. He can do everything you can't do.
He enjoys winning and will definitely let you know when he does.
Big news for all gamers everywhere. We've got
Oh,
some
right,
new
I
accessories
forgot about
designed
copyright.
to give
Darn
gamers more ways to play.
Whoops.
And here with all the details, please welcome Xbox Principal Designer Chris Kudrowski and Senior Accessibility Product Manager Caitlin Jones. Welcome to Gamescom.
Thank you,
Maxie.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
How's Cologne treating you? All good? I love it here.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to cut that song
First
out
time in
later.
Gamescom, this is
If
pretty
I
exciting.
see any other
Oh, wow,
commercials
first
like that, I'm
time.
gonna need
Okay,
to
the
cut
full
that
week
out.
ahead of you. I can't wait for you to see it. So I can't believe the Xbox Adaptive Controller launch is 6 years ago. But you didn't stop there. So what's new in the world of gaming and accessibility?
Yeah, thanks, Maxie. So as you saw, we just announced our Xbox Adaptive Joystick. It's a wired controller that is designed to be a companion for our Xbox Adaptive Controller as well as other Xbox controllers. And that will be available to customers in 2025, early on in 2025. As well as our Xbox Adaptive toppers that you can create with Xbox Design Labs. And these are really great, I think, especially for players who might have some difficulty using the thumbsticks on their controllers. They can choose from different shapes, customize the sizes, the height, and the width, and attach them to their adaptive joystick as well as their Xbox Wireless or Elite Series 2 controller, and really customize the way that they interact and grip with those thumbsticks on those controllers to meet their unique needs. So overall, we're just really
Future
excited to
Perfect.
continue to expand the ways that players can play the games that they want to play and also how they want to play. But it doesn't just stop with our Xbox accessibility offerings. We also have some really fantastic partners through our Design for Xbox program, including BioWave and 8bit2, who are also announcing some exciting accessibility news today.
And with everything in your line of work, the feedback from the community is crucial. And the gaming and disability community was also instrumental in feedback for creating the joystick. Can we hear more about that?
Yeah, that's a great question. And certainly at Xbox, we are firm believers in the saying nothing about us without us, meaning we do not create accessible devices or features for the disability community, but rather we need to create them with the disability community. They are collaborators and they're the experts in their own experiences and needs. So from very early on with the adaptive joystick, we had our disability community be hands-on with early designs and functional prototypes, and I know Chris will share a little bit more about that on the hardware design side. But even from a software perspective, you know, we really heard from our players that they wanted an affordable joystick for their adaptive controller so they can easily find that and have that as a resource to them, but also something that fit in seamlessly with their existing setups. So we knew it was important to create something that was highly customizable. You can remap all of the buttons on the joystick, you can create different profiles, you can connect it to your Xbox adaptive controller for a full adaptive setup, but you can also use it without your Xbox adaptive controller. You can plug it directly into your console or PC and use it alone, or employ Xbox Controller Assist to link it with another controller and kind of play that way. So all in all, the disability community's involvement is absolutely critical in everything that we do, and we're so grateful to have them as co-collaborators and designers in these processes.
So many options. So how did the community feedback inform the final design of the adaptive joystick?
Hi, Princess Emmy says I've been playing
like Caitlin mentioned,
Tomb
we're
Raider
always looking
Warcraft
for that feedback, and for this device in particular, we actually visited a hospital in Seattle that uses gaming as therapy for some of their spinal injury patients. So what that means is we went there with a box of prototypes, got feedback on the grip size, the shape, the number of buttons, where the buttons were located. They liked some of the stuff, they didn't like some of the stuff, and that's exactly why we're there. One of the most important things that we took away from that meeting was the importance of having the controller be mountable. Lets you put it in a lot of different positions, hold it stable if you're not able to hold the controller in your hand. So we added this threaded insert here that's the same,
looks like
same one
people
you
are
find on a
looking
camera
at
tripod
World
or,
of Warcraft,
actually
Age
on
of
the
Mythology,
adaptive
and
controller
Indiana
as
Jones
well.
for games
And so that
you guys
really
are
allows
really
you to use
interested in.
non-hand body parts with the controller easily. So we took that feedback and then used it to iterate on the design.
Wow. And just curious, how does that process look like of creating? Do you 3D print prototypes? Do you mold? What do you do?
We do both of those things. Usually, I like to start making something that goes in your hand by making it by my own hands. So we'll take a block of foam, carve that away. We'll take a 3D print, add clay to it, and then sand it away. And I'm doing this in the design lab, in the workshop in my garage. And we're just really iterating constantly to get the feel right, to get the ergonomics right, the position of the buttons right. We usually start with a very primitive form and then add those details throughout the design process. One of the other things that's really important from my perspective as a designer, and this maybe sounds obvious, it's an Xbox controller. It should look like an Xbox controller. So many of the adaptive products that gamers have to use, they might look like hospital equipment or something you have to use rather than something you'd want to use. Like Xbox makes cool products. We want our gamers to want to use the products, and so using the same form language, the same color, material, and finish really helps it feel like a part of the Xbox family, and that goes a long way in removing some of the stigma that's associated with using adaptive products, and that's a really important thing that I think design and Xbox brings to the table here.
Yeah, it looks very well next to the adaptive controller, traditional Xbox controller. So good job, good job. One question. So I heard the rumor that the idea of the 3D printable topper files came from an internal hackathon event. Is that true?
That is true. Very similar to the Xbox adaptive controller years ago. The adaptive thumbstick toppers were born from a hackathon project. So hackathon is a week where Microsoft employees get to take a break from their day job and work on a passion project. And this particular team was inspired by really the high cost of adaptive accessories and doing custom setups like that. So knowing that 3D printers are a lot more available for at home or as a service,
yeah,
they
thanks so much
combine
for
these two
watching some of
ideas
that
to
series,
create
Ali.
a great range of products that
scheduled for
offer
7:30.
gamers a lot more options to customize
I
their
didn't
setup
know how
just
long
exactly
the
what they need.
Xbox showcase was going to go.
And so much goes into the creation of these accessibility offerings. And especially,
So I don't know, like,
for the 3D printable files, what the adaptive thumbstick toppers look like. Who did you work with?
Yeah, very
like I was kind of under the impression I was going to do this until like 11 a.m. and then kind of like have time to like
specifically a lot of
take a nap or make food
gaming accessibility
or
charities
feed my cats
that
or
were doing
do
a lot
household
of 3D
chores.
printing
But
work. So
this is going to go on all day, so I don't know if I'll have to delay the stream until 8:15 or something. But
you all are
we definitely have it scheduled for
your
this evening.
players,
We'll be
and
doing
that's actually what
Wolverine
informed
around
the final 6
7:30,
shapes that we have available today. So
Eastern time.
very direct,
So
working with them
depending
and
on where
getting
you guys
that
are
feedback.
watching from.
Something that we also learned though by working with them is that, you know, not everyone needs a full-on adaptive setup. Sometimes just minor modifications to how you interact with your thumbstick can be the difference that allows someone to play longer, more comfortably. It can also be the difference
When are they going to make
you
a
can play
controller
all together.
for people with
So,
abnormally small hands?
based on that, we
because
did want to create something that
most
was
controllers are kind of hard for me to use, but
and easily
I will say
customizable for
Xbox
customers
controllers are
because
smaller than
through working with our
PlayStation
disability
controllers, so
community, again, more and more learnings nonstop, always coming in. We did learn that, you know, not everyone has access to easily connect with these hospitals or these more tech-savvy maker communities or charities that are customizing these designs and printing them. And also not everyone at home knows how to 3D model and customize their own shapes at home. So with the Xbox Design Lab platform, it's as simple as picking your shape, using sliders to adjust the height and the width of those shapes, and you're given a free 3D printable file that you can then take to a printer. If you have access to, you can use a 3D printing service, and it's as simple as customizing from there with no 3D modeling knowledge required.
I love that.
Oh,
But
you
what I
can
love
play
more
with your
is that
feet.
you
That's
not
interesting.
only support the community with creating accessories, you also support partners, third-party developers in bringing their designs to life. So can you share a little bit more who you're partnering with?
Yes, and I will say I am just personally so grateful and excited that we do have so many Design for Xbox partners who are just really committed to making gaming for everyone. Some of the specific partners that we've been working with recently on the accessibility front are BioWave. So back in May, they announced their Proteus controller, which is a modular controller that allows you to really build your own unique setup that works best for you. And very exciting today,
the Switch
that
Pro
controller
controller
is
is small, but
in addition to BioWave,
I don't like it. It's
8-Bit
kind of
Do
uncomfortable.
is both announcing and available today their
yeah,
Light
the Pro
SC
controller's
wireless
small. I
controller.
don't think it's as small as the Xbox
all in all,
controller.
you know, when it comes to
I
accessibility,
have abnormally small
a rising
hands,
tide
and it's,
floats all boats, and we're just excited that our players have more and more options within the Xbox ecosystem
the Pro
to
controller is
really
pretty
choose
small.
what works best for them.
That's
what I
a
really,
lot
really
of
liked
great
for
news
somebody
that you
with
have
tiny
today.
hands is,
So is there any place
like,
where we can look
I
up all
really
of the
liked
accessibility offerings?
Yes, to find out more about any of this
like
accessible hardware that we've just talked about today, you can see the Xbox
controllers
Wire
that
blog
were made
post.
by
Or if you
Power
happen to be here at
A,
Gamescom like us,
or
you can
like,
visit us in the Here to Help area in the Xbox
for like the
consumer
Wii U
booth.
and
You
stuff.
can get hands-on with any
and
of the
they
products.
made like smaller
do some,
controllers
live
that had
demos.
Skylanders
And if you're
characters
here on
on them
Friday,
for
you can
kids.
see Caitlin in a
And
discussion panel
that
in the
was like
community,
my best
area as
controller
well.
ever. It was so small, and I could easily touch all the buttons.
For coming, and also I want to
like
say thank you so much for making
GameCube
our
controller
booth
was too big
accessible
for
so
me because I
everybody
couldn't
feels
actually
welcome.
reach all the
Thank
buttons
you.
with my thumb.
Yeah.
But like
we'll
for
get a
some
look
reason, the
at the first
N64
expansion from
controller I
Starfield.
could easily
Find out
reach
what happens
all
when
the
nuclear
buttons because I
disaster
just
in
held on the
great British
center little
countryside
prong thing,
converge in AtomFall.
and then I
Age of
held on the
Mythology
side, and I was
fans, stay tuned.
able to
We'll
easily
take a
play
look
like
at
Rogue
what you can
Squadron with that.
expect from the latest
So
in the
yeah, I
series.
mean like
But first,
every
it's time
control
to
is a little
explore
different. Like I don't know,
8RY26
I'm
once
just
again
my hands are
in
just
Revenge of
abnormally
the
like
Savage
small.
Planet.
So, but I really like when they make controllers for kids, I really like those because it's like perfect size for me because my hands are like really tiny. Oh, baby.
Greetings, brave explorer. We here at Alta Interglobal would like to welcome you to our newest venture.
They play copyrighted music
The
again.
colonization of
I'm
space.
gonna be ready.
You've spent almost a century hurtling through the universe in cryosleep, ready to begin your work on this strange alien planet. Unfortunately, changing market conditions have led us to the realization that space exploration
we
is
finished
far too
Monster
costly and
Hunter
unpredictable,
story,
and Alta
so
has decided to cancel all future plans in space. I regret to inform you that you have therefore been made redundant. Your final check has been sent. We thank you for your service, and we hope you eventually find a way home. Good luck.
Savage Planet, says Sammy. This looks interesting. Alright, thank you, Sammy. Online co-op, crossplay, split screen. Savage Planet. Okay, thank you, Sammy Bear King, for letting me know what that is. Oh my goodness. I don't think Luke played the first one of this.
What started as a journey to the Savage Planet has turned into revenge. Here with more on what fans can expect from Revenge of the Savage Planet, please welcome producer Noémie Lecourier and creative director Alex Hutchinson. Thanks so much for joining us.
We're very happy to be here.
Thanks
you.
for having us.
Thank you.
How's your Gamescom going so far?
Very good.
Very good. Busy.
Yes.
It always is. There's so many games to play, so many things to see. But Alex, it's been a journey getting here, and not only to the sequel to fans, but also to evolve the game as a whole. Can you unpack that for us?
Yeah, I think it's been a pretty crazy half a decade for not only us, but for the entire games industry. So we originally began as a studio called Typhoon Studios. We made Journey to the Savage Planet. We were acquired by a large multinational. The pandemic happened. Yeah. We updated the game, and on the day we shipped, that same multinational made us all redundant. So we found ourselves sitting around trying to figure out what to do. But luckily, we decided to reform. So we're a new studio, Raccoon Logic. And we've made this new game, Revenge of the Savage Planet.
Yeah, and Noémie, can you kind of talk about the world that we live in with Revenge of the Savage Planet? Have we got the gameplay that we can push up? But
before that,
I think Alex is going to talk.
Before that. So obviously, some of the big changes are that we've switched to third person in this one. It's still, a game about exploring the world, interrogating everything that you see. It's filled with wonderful, wacky, weird creatures. It's 4 planets now instead of 1 planet, so there's lots more to do and lots more to see.
Yes, so we basically can survey, scan everything, and collect and catalog. Here, as you explore the world, you're going to discover rewards, things to collect as well. The rewards are blocked by encounters
here's a game I would actually play because it's colorful.
As well as puzzles and navigation challenges. So lots of fun here.
Yeah.
It looks so cute. Like even the trailer, but in the trailer beforehand, it's like all the creatures. It's like adorable.
And you know it's a sequel when you're swimming.
Just it happens every single time.
Every
You've got
time.
to add water in. If you go in, no water.
Exactly.
Second time thing. But Alex, there's obviously a ton of creativity by the team to produce an incredible world. But perhaps players' take on its obstacles can be equally as creative. So in the world, like how are players going to approach the obstacles that they face?
Yeah, so we've taken a really systemic approach to open world design. So it's still a Metroidvania. You're still being blocked by different obstacles. You need to go back to your habitat and upgrade your tools to get through them. But what we wanted to do was have a Metroidvania where there's a single lock, but multiple keys. So you see different types of objects. Say if it's a cracked wall that you need to blow up, you could do it with a grenade. You could find a creature that explodes. explodes, anything that generates an explosion will get you through. And so hopefully, as you see in this video, there's a little bit more systemic chaos than most games of this type.
Basically
so there's lots of creative
with
ways
humor?
to kind of like solve the problem.
Exactly.
You can have a bit of fun with it, and every time you play it as well, you're going to get those different experiences.
The monsters are adorable.
Another way players can make their game their own is through customization. You know what I mean? Can you talk us through customization?
Yes, absolutely. So we've added tons of new outfits in the game. You can mix and match between the different outfits. So whether it's the helmet, the boots, or the gloves, all the outfits are inspired by sci-fi themes, famous like Star Trek. Here we can see some of the suits here, as well as like Power Rangers. So
if you put on the red shirt, you get killed immediately in the game, but you reprint.
What have you got wrong with the red shirt?
It's just a trope. It's just a trope.
You also have a habitat where you will find all the main modules, like you see here, the PC that you will use throughout the game. But there's also another section that you can fully customize with lots of things. So as you explore the world, you will find Alta crate containing Alta bucks. You can
the way the character walks is hilarious.
On furniture, accessories, and basically a lot of
useless
junk to really make the space your own. So I hope players have a lot of fun with that.
This looks like a fun, goofy game, honestly.
There you go.
Just lots of stuff from Gamescom will kind of like come with me. By the end of it, I'll have plushies for days. But co-op is such a big part of the game as well. Can you kind of talk us through that, Alex?
Yeah, so a lot of the team members have worked on different two-player co-op games, whether it was Army of Two or Far Cry 4. We've had a lot of success with it. We think it's an intimate way to play with your best friend, your partner, your kid. And this time we've made sure you can do it in any way you can imagine. So there's not only network co-op, but there's split-screen co-op you can play on the couch, and even cross-play, so you can play on any system with any other system.
I love playing split-screen games as well. Like, I grew up playing with my brother. Like, every single game that we get our hands on
can do
split-screen.
split screen.
That was always the way I went and played.
Perfect.
Yeah, also, it's so good you've been able to return to this franchise and bring tons for the fans. This game looks so fun, it feels like fun, and went to create. Alex, can you tell us what you think the magic is for this game and what makes fans love it so much?
I think it's humor. You know, you see a lot of games that are very gray, very brown, very serious, and we wanted to get back to a world that was fun, that was upbeat, that was optimistic. We like the idea of exploring space because it's fun, and you're going to find something exciting. You're not going to find Matt Damon on the moon, you know, eating poop mushrooms or Mars. So, like, hopefully people see that the humor in this is in the gameplay as well as the script, you know? That the joke we always tell is that, you know, I can write a one-liner that's funny once, but slapping your best friend to their death off a cliff is funny forever.
Yeah, you can just kick them off in as many creative ways as possible. Like, just trying to get through that cracked wall. But
Alright,
also,
so this
really
is going to be releasing
when a
in
player's going to be able to get their hands on the
2025.
game.
Doesn't say
so it's going to come out sometime next year, 2025.
I'm going to start
For
entering
more
rooms
info,
with that
you can
walk.
go on the website,
Awesome,
Savage Planet
Thanos.
Game, and the wish list as well.
No,
right now.
Please wish list.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, and honestly, I can't wait to come and have a go with it as well. So thank you so much for joining us as well. And have you got any final words as well that you want to share with fans?
No, we just please wish list on whatever platform you like, and we'll show you some more gameplay soon.
No, honestly, thank you so much. But coming up, we've taken a spin in some new wheels and a turn with a new story in Starfield's first ever expansion, Shattered Space. But first, check out an action-adventure game about hope, robots, and the power of words. This is Dustborne.
We need to stick together. We need to be a crew.
Hi, Big Nate. How's it going? Hi, Nathan Anthony.
Built into their arms.
Dustborne isn't about making the big and immediate choices. It's about the little things that add up over time. The words spoken that affect relationships and moods, the decisions that stick with you and play out when you least expect them to, the actions that push your relationships in new directions.
I guess this explains why you're suddenly so eager to chase after the robots.
Oh, keeping secrets again, huh?
It's about making tough choices, about how to deal with the people in your crew, how to manage them and pull them together to do the job, and to make the compromises necessary to reach the end of the road and your own personal goals.
We'll be taking a different route north, through Liberty, Oregon. Before
Liberty? I would actually like an explanation.
I concur.
Think of the game as a way to write your own comic book as you play. Each chapter or issue starting with a new cover displaying what you're about to experience, and each of them ending with a comic splash screen. These pages present key choices made in the previous issue that could have an impact later on. Whether a dialogue line or event plays out because of a choice made by the player, an icon will appear in the top right corner of the screen, allowing you to really get a sense of what could have gone differently.
Stop it!
What the hell, Pax?
What now?
Drive.
In the comic splash, you'll have access to more data, such as global stats about how many other players received this particular consequence, allowing you to gauge how popular this choice was.
Awesome.
Some choices
Great
lead
to
to
hear,
crew mood
Nathan.
change, which can have an impact on
And
your
if ever
relationship
anyone
with
is
them,
just coming
but
in,
also
it's
on
just
their
me
personal
right now.
endings.
Well, and my cat
can hover.
Zelda.
We didn't finish our chat.
No, we were finished.
I'm worried about you, and I had more to say.
I'm sure, but I was done.
Every key crew member in the story receives one of 3 endings, or codas, based on choices made and actions taken by the player and PAX. Each coda is illustrated by a comic book style splash screen, along with unique dialogues and events reflecting each character's current status. The player can at any time access the character codex to see which coda is the current favorite.
The crew respects you. When you're unhappy, they feel it. I'll keep that in mind.
Whenever a dialogue choice or action affects a coda, the screen will display a coda emoji, along with an animation that tells the player how important this choice was. It'll be up to you to decide how the road trip goes and how your relationships will evolve. Will Noam break away from their on-again, off-again relationship with Pax, or embrace it? Will Theo loosen up with the crew, or favor his boss status? Will Ziggy resolve her sister issues with Pax? Discover how it all unfolds in Dustborne. Available now.
What's the name of your band?
We're the Dustborne.
There is a dream that haunts me. A most dreadful nightmare, truly. It tears at me. The fortress of stone and valor, which I struggled to build, is now slowly crumbling into ruin. The land, caught in a perpetual autumn, yields to decay.
Oh yeah, you don't see this a lot.
Futile sacrifice remains ensnared.
Yeah,
deep
definitely.
within the holds of the
Hey,
soul.
Nani Nani. Yeah, it is kind of cool to see that.
A shield, now weakened and cracked by time, fails to protect my people. A profound betrayal has befallen those most loyal, yielding only despair. I am left paralyzed, powerless. Not more than a witness. My people, my legacy, everything is collapsing. They hailed me as the once and future king. Only now do I understand the horror of that title.
The once and future king. Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon. Interesting.
It's one of my favorite massive open world space adventures, and it's just got its first ever expansion coming up. Here with more on Starfield Shattered Space, please welcome lead creative producer Tim Lamb. Hi Tim, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Nice to meet you, Bex.
Awesome, it's lovely to speak to you today. So let's chat opening night live. We had a really fun look at a very vibey trailer about some vehicles. Could you tell us a bit more about that?
I can. So we released the Rev 8, super excited. The team is so happy to have this new element that adds to planet exploration in the game. So, you know, we have these dynamic worlds with you know, dense terrain, lots of very interesting obstacles, and like now those worlds are our playground to drive around on.
Heck yeah.
We have a lot of, in navigating that, we have vertical boost, forward boost, we have a weapon on there. It's like a lot of different minute to minute, just like fantastic gameplay opportunities for players.
Yeah, super exciting. And Vasco looked like he was having a good time as well in the back there. Love that, love that. Now let's talk a wee bit about the story in Shattered Space. It's very dark and mysterious. Could you tell me and everyone watching a little bit more about the story?
Yeah, so I think there's a hopeful optimism in the giant sprawling adventure of Starfield. You go to a lot of different locations, you meet a lot of different types of people, the cast of characters there, and Shattered Space, that tone, that mood, we were able to sort of distill it down and focus it into a location in the game around Dazra City. So like we get to meet that new House Faroon, the people there. There's a moment of strife that they had. We get to experience that with them now.
Yeah, they sounded a bit intriguing, shall we say, in the footage that we saw last night.
Hopefully
so
the
can you tell us a wee bit
will
more
make this
about the
game
House of Faroon and
a little
kind
bit
of
better.
who we'll be coming across?
So, I don't want to, no spoilers.
Sure.
You encounter a derelict star station, and this starts you on your adventure to meeting the Faroon. You end up in their home world, Varun Kai, in the city of Dazra. There's been a catastrophic event. You deal with the minor houses of the faction of House Faroon to sort of uncover the mystery of what happened, and then, you know, resolve it.
Yeah, the last
as
two
you do
games
as a player.
look
Nice.
pretty
There's lots of
interesting,
choices in there for you.
Okay, very interested to find out what that story
I
kind
have
of leads
played-
us on
I have
to
played
as
this
well.
game,
Very good.
Starfield,
Along
but
with that
they didn't
story
have as
that we've
many,
been chatting about, there are some new game features as well as a huge new planet
they didn't
that
have a lot
we can
to do on the
explore.
planet,
Could you
so
tell
the
us a
game
bit
kinda
more about
became
those
boring
two?
after a while.
So we have the city of
It was
Dazra.
frustrating.
We focused, all of our effort has really been focused on the area around the city. So I think the beauty of it is that there's exploration, that you can find nooks and crannies in the game or little secret discoveries or locations you feel like, I know I'm coming back here. So there's like an excitement there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm so excited about it. I am.
Oh, so excited as well. I mean, even in the trailer, we saw kind of a very summery, beachy vibe cruising around on our Rev 8 too. Have you taken it for a spin?
I have, no, I do. And I think Shattered Space is like a fantastic playground for it. Now, you can take the Rev 8 to any planet.
Yeah.
You can take it into Varun Kai, Varun's homeworld, and drive it there as well. But like we support, I think that's one of the great things about our games is we always support any type of play style. So it's like you can play with it, you can play without it, you can take it to Varun Kai, you cannot take it there.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll definitely be taking it for a spin as well when Shattered Space releases too. Was there anything else that you wanted to
some
chat
monsters
to us about
on
for
the
Starfield Shattered Space coming out?
on
Anything
the
we
planet
can look
surface?
forward
That'll
to?
be
You
interesting.
can. I think you can look forward to an interesting story, a handcrafted world, new weapons, new gear, new items that sort of alter the way you might think about Starfield.
Amazing. Well, Tim, I cannot wait to play it as well. And everyone watching at home as well, be sure to check out Starfield Shattered Space, launching September 30th with Xbox Game Pass. Thanks again for chatting with us. Now, next up, we're exploring, scavenging, and hopefully surviving the harsh world of AtomFall. But first, let's build a dungeon.
I didn't see what date in September he said that was coming out. Let's build a game studio. Let's build a dungeon. This is interesting. I'm just so confused. What is this game about? Let's build quests. Let's build a dungeon.
Hi there, I'm James, the designer of Let's Build a Dungeon, a game development simulator that's coming to PC and Xbox next year. We previously brought our game Let's Build a Zoo to Xbox Game Pass, so it's exciting to be back here sharing news of our next game. Today, we want to share a closer look at our multi-layered management sim, and also reveal some brand new features that we've never talked about before. Let's Build a Dungeon is designed to simulate every aspect of running a games studio, and that starts with designing something your virtual players will love. You get to decide which quests to put in the world, and whether you want to focus on a traditional RPG built around magic and combat, or something more cozy like fishing or running monster farms. And if you want even more control, we have an exclusive new mode to share with you. Creative mode is our sandbox, but it's a sandbox quite unlike any other. Not only do you have access to literally thousands of assets, buildings, and characters, in Let's Build a Dungeon,
Miss Deanna
you can
says,
also
cool,
tell
another
your
game
own story.
developer simulation.
We are developing
I
a
love
series
dungeon
of
crawlers.
easy-to-use tools that lets you create almost anything. From a production-level dialogue editor that lets you create branching conversations, events, and rewards, to a full AI editor that lets you adjust anything from attack probabilities to spawn rates and weapons. We even have a tool that lets you draw your own pixel art characters, which will then automatically animate them for you. Our goal is to build a suite of tools that gives you as much control as we have when building our games.
You can make your own
Games made by the
game?
community will be available for download, along with some titles made by developers like us here at Spring Loaded. Adding these tools felt like the natural extension of our game development simulator. Why stop at building the most detailed game dev sim ever created, when we can add elements of a game engine to give you a full, authentic experience? Hopefully, this short overview has given you an idea of what to expect from Let's Build a Dungeon when it ships next year.
Wow, this really looks interesting. Let's build a dungeon
Windscale,
game.
the pride of Britain, nestled in the picturesque Lake District, the state-of-the-art atom plant has transformed this rugged landscape into the envy of its northern neighbors. Scientific progress waits for no one.
Windscale. Everything changed when that bloody atom plant went up in flames.
Citizens of Wyndham, there has been an increase in bandit activity outside the village walls.
Temporary quarantine, they said?
Yeah,
It's
an
been
RPG
bloody
maker? I don't
years.
know.
They're hiding something from us. Something terrible.
Fallout.
My name's Molly. You got out to trade? I got bits and bobs for
Okay.
sale.
Please be careful. It's more dangerous than you can possibly imagine.
Oh no, this isn't Fallout. This is Fable. This is Fable. I think.
It's mystery mixed with folk horror weirdness, all set in a not-so-idyllic post-war British countryside, and believe it or not, it's based on a true story. Really? Well, here with more on AtomFall, please welcome Creative Director for Rebellion, Ben Fisher. How you doing, pal?
How you doing?
Welcome to Germany.
Thank you.
First time here, or?
I've been here for Gamescom before.
I think.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Not
it's
with a
not.
game
It's
quite like this,
AtomFall.
right?
No,
All right, I
let's
was
talk
wrong.
about that
I was
then,
wrong
actually,
both
you're right, Henry,
accounts.
because this is a huge departure from Rebellion's most famous series, let's call it Sniper Elite. Can you tell us about this sudden change of pace here?
Sure. I mean, it's similar and it's different in different aspects of the game. So we always value sandbox exploration and giving the player lots of freedom in
Fallout
their
with a
objectives.
UK
At
flavor.
the same time, this is
Maybe
a
Miss
survival
Deanna.
action game with some sort of RPG-ish elements. There's skills, there's crafting, The story of the game unfolds as you explore. It's kind of a mystery game.
That
so
guy has a
tonally
very
quite
deep
different.
voice.
Sniper.
I love the exploration side of it. I mean, from what we just saw in the quick trailer, that there's a lot going on. It's not just one sort of trope that you're sticking to. There's a lot to unpack. So maybe as we're checking out some gameplay that you brought along that we can experience, we can jump into some of the influences that have made it into this title. Because, like I said, it's a lot going on here, man. So let's check out some of this gameplay as well. You've got to start off with a postbox.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where else?
I mean, it's on your T-shirt as well.
Yeah.
It must be quite a core feature of AtomFall, I assume.
It is actually.
Oh.
So, as you explore the world of AtomFall, you're uncovering a mystery. You're discovering what's happened in this post-apocalyptic quarantine zone in 1950s North England. Different characters will
Says it already feels
ask you to do things for them, and they might help in return.
looks better than
And
Fallout
one of the
76.
characters that you can interact with is this mystery phone voice. You don't know who they are, you don't know what they want, and you have to choose which characters you trust and don't trust in your exploration.
Kind of like Bosley, Charlie's Angels vibes coming through the phone.
Yes, yes, exactly.
I like that. That's cool. You know, speaking about the story, and Henry, you mentioned it earlier. True story. Like, what is that about?
Yes. Well, yeah. It's based on real world.
All right, thank you, Thanos. You're breathtaking. Thank you so much.
The first major nuclear disaster in the world was in Winston plant in Sellafield, so 1957. We wanted to use that as a jumping off point for a story. So Jason Kingsley, one of the owners and founders of Rebellion, observed that there are lots of games that are kind of like post-atom storytelling, like post-atomic disaster storytelling.
Thank you
none
for the
set
help,
around
Thanos.
this
You're
first disaster that's happened.
amazing. Thank you so much for your
So we took that as a starting point and then
generosity,
thought,
helping the
what's a
stream.
Rebellion
I hope you're having a great day, Thanos. Thank
interpretation
you.
of that kind of thing. So, like I say, we value that kind of sandbox exploration and player of freedom, and then combine that with the sort of unique Britishness, and that led to the environment that we've got in the game. So it's kind of an alternate history story, and it's a mystery that you uncover what's happened. And as part of the process of building that game world, we looked back at 1950s storytelling. So references like the Quatermass series, which is one of the very earliest sci-fi serials, or like early Doctor Who, and things like that. So like UK TV Gold kind of cultural reference points that even if people don't know the reference itself, they know the influences that came from it.
Oh wow, it's like a
and
huge
at the time, there wasn't a clear distinction between like folk horror and sci-fi and those kind of stories. So it's a blend, it's a natural blend in the storytelling style of the 50s.
And of course you had to chuck some cricket bats in there for good measure. I mean, the combat's pretty crunchy, right? I mean, this is, like you say, a bit of a departure from Sniper Elite, which is typically long range, but in here we're getting right up, even the fact that it's first-person camera.
Zelda looks somewhat interested in this game.
Why did it feel right for AtomFall?
A little bit. She's kind of looking around to the side, but
an elite trained
she looks a
sniper.
little bit interested.
Carl Fairbairn's like a Cuban sniper rifle, right? He knows exactly how to fire a shot, miles to take out that one guy. This is a different character in a different situation. We wanted it to be a mystery, so there are no signifiers of age, race, or gender for the player character. They're wearing gloves, so you don't know who they are. Their backstory is part of the mystery that you may or may not uncover as you explore. We wanted you to feel more like it's not so much a war zone as a pub crawl. You're desperately attempting to survive. There's not much ammo around. The guns are all rusty because everyone's been trapped in this quarantine zone for 5 years. You're mixing melee and ranged combat. You can throw your melee weapons. You can kick people to make them stagger back. We wanted you to be constantly, desperately mixing options and scavenging desperately for resources. So there's a real kind of tension as you play, which is very, very tonally different to Carl, who's calm and controlled and reads an entire situation before he decides what to do.
I think we can definitely get on board with the pub crawl element.
Can't wait for it to come to Xbox. Awesome, Nathan.
Basically, and it's gonna feel good. It's gonna feel great.
Talking about Kyle and that he's an iconic character, what about the characters in AtomFall? Our player characters and maybe so much of the focus, but are there other people that we're going to meet that are going to be key?
Yeah, so
I thought this was Fallout, and then I thought it was Fable.
Too many things, but as you explore the game world,
I was wrong for both accounts.
Ask you to help uncover the mystery of what happened in the Windscale plant and maybe ask you to do something when you get there. And
So
if you
this
do
is
that
called
for them, they might try and
AtomFall.
find you a way to
Interesting.
escape this quarantine zone, or they promise to.
Oh
So
wow,
as you
this kind of
explore,
reminds
you've
me
got
of
to decide
your
who you trust,
your
who you
pack in
don't
the
trust.
Oregon Trail,
Whether you
where you
think
can only
they're telling
pack
the
a
truth or
certain
trying to
number of things
manipulate
in
you,
your
whether
cart
you
in the
believe
Oregon
the same
Trail.
things as they do. So it's all murky shades of grey. There's no good guys and bad guys, and it's all completely open to the player. So you could theoretically kill every character in the game, and there's still a way to finish the game. You could theoretically play through and kill no one, and there's other routes available to you. So we really pushed hard into giving the player lots of options and lots of rewards for observing and choosing what to do. So there's lots of tropish characters, lots of kind of characters that fit this world of being north of England, and also being 1950s, 1960s culturally.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, as a fellow Scot, Ben, really quick, are there any maybe Scottish people in there that we can look forward to meeting? I'm sorry.
Spoilers, yeah. But what we have done is we've taken like 1950s sci-fi, 1950s, or like old-fashioned folk horror type trope characters and Cold War scientist trope characters, and you'll meet those kinds of people as you explore through the game, and then still decide whether you trust them or not.
So we got pub rules, we got crazy characters. They're all living in this open world that we're experiencing. Can you tell us more about that? How did you
more
construct
games with
it?
humor
How
in
big
them.
is it as well?
We got this game with humor. We got the Revenge of the
Rebellion
Savage
excels
Planet,
at is these
which is
deeply
adding humor
packed
into
kind of
it.
sandbox maps. So the
And
way that
Fable
we've
will
structured
obviously have
AtomFall
humor in
is a
it,
series
yeah.
of like 5 or 6, depending on how you count, sandbox maps like the one you can see just now.
Diablo's
You can
is
travel
creepy.
freely between them at any time. They're all thematically very, very different. And then
It's
there's
funny
loads
in a
of
way because it's so
interiors
creepy.
and, like large-scale, story-driven locations that you might uncover, as well as bunkers that are full of loot that you might find. What we wanted to do is really lean into that densely packed kind of puzzle box. So I've spent all day watching people play the game, and no two playthroughs have been the same. People can approach it all very,
it
very
should be a
differently.
good
get
game.
different
Rebellion, the game
experiences.
developer makes
As
good
you explore the game, you'll find leads as well. So we don't have a kind of quest system. We've got leads that you piece together, clues that help you understand what's happening. So we built this puzzle box, this sandbox of interconnected
Very
options
cool.
for the player, and then we just
So
let them go for it. They
Rebellion,
might find
yeah,
a
made
difficult,
by
dangerous
developer
place
Rebellion.
and
Very
die,
cool.
But we
All right, I'm gonna look up
signpost
when
very
this game
clearly that it's a
releases,
dangerous place,
guys.
and then it's kind of up to them what happens.
That's right. I love a puzzle. I'm buzzing.
Yeah.
We're great at solving them together, to be fair.
Well, we could work on it. I mean, you just said that there'll be leads that players
All right,
can
releases
follow.
in
Tell us a bit about how
2025,
they're
so-
equipped to do so, because we just saw like
don't know when
literally
it's
pulling out a
released
metal
exactly.
detector and taking part in that great British tradition of finding some old coins or whatever it could be. But what are the other ways we can do that?
Yeah, so you might find a lead that someone's hidden in a box under the ground somewhere. They've a bit of storytelling around it to draw the player in and make them try and understand how it fits to the
Alright,
game
thank
world.
you for
But there's
letting me
also
know,
characters
interesting
that you might
generals.
find in the world. There's friendly characters that you can barter with,
I'm
and they
Richard,
might
your friend.
sell you or trade something with you which has a lead in it. Or if you do some trade with them, they might get friendly to you and give you a lead. You can also have conversations with characters, and if you choose the right choices, you might get some more information from them. The way that we've approached those
Man,
is
I'm getting
the
so
same
cold
kind of
sitting
high-stakes
here
player freedom.
with the
So
air
you can get the
conditioning
conversation
on.
wrong.
Like, might
Like,
have to
you're
lower
not
the air
working your way down a
conditioning.
list of conversation topics until they grey out and then moving on to the next one.
Yeah, I'm
It works
watching
more
the
like a real
playback, the
conversation.
Nani
So
Nani was
if
saying,
you
you don't
judge
see
their
the
personality wrong and say the wrong thing, they
Vitiligo,
might shut down and stop talking to you. And you've pruned
thing that people
a
have. I
chain
guess
of
it would
leads
be
that you
called
might
like a
otherwise
skin
have found something interesting in
condition.
the game world. So you're
And I
always
am
having
seeing the
these
characters
influences
now
and
because
layers that
I'm
you
watching
may
my
not
very
notice are
late
there.
playback, and you can
so
see it.
smart. I can't
pretty
wait to dive
prominent
into
on
that as well. That's so
people's
cool.
arms and stuff. So, yeah,
I understand there's some
it definitely
crafting
brings that
elements
to
in
light
that as
more
well,
for
and also
people.
metal
Definitely.
detectors, scavenging. Can you tell us what that kind of looks like in AtomFall?
Sure. So the player's desperately trying to survive and finding materials to help them survive. So even if they find a gun, there might be 3 bullets for the gun. So they can
Yeah, it
find
looks like
materials
you have
that
a
let
very
them,
limited
craft things that
amount
help
of
them heal
materials you
or
can
help
bring.
them in combat, so Molotov cocktails and makeshift grenades and things like that. So you find yourself trapped into a corner and you can make these resources that help you survive. Like I say, we're trying to make sure that we find this
So,
sweet
I
spot
don't know,
where you
I
feel kind of
probably will go
desperate
to like
as you're trying to
11,
survive, 'cause we want you to use everything that you
45
find.
or
We make sure
12,
your
and then
backpack
at
capacity
12 I
is quite
probably
limited as well,
will
so you're really pushed
maybe take a
to make these
15-minute
difficult
break or a
choices
5-minute
decide
break
even
and just
whether
start
you want to
streaming
engage in a
again.
fight or not, whether you want to avoid
I
it
don't
entirely.
know.
You want to choose the right moment and try
I'll
and take
try
out
to
5
stream
guys
as much
with a
of this
Molotov. It's all really high
Xbox
stakes, but it
Gamescom
makes it
as
very rewarding
possible.
when you manage to pull something off.
I don't
Looks
know
like
if
our player right now
my
is making a
husband
horrible decision by going into a
wants
restricted
to
area.
just
Already
skip one of our streams and just streams us all day.
Like I mentioned earlier, if you're heading into somewhere,
So I don't know what
or
he would like to
dangerous or
do.
Scary, we make sure and signpost it. So you know, if you go into a place like that and then you die, you go, oh, I should have guessed. There was a skeleton outside.
Yeah, that one's on me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
To be fair, I'm very good at ignoring red flags, so we'll see about that.
And in terms of the player's progression then, so you're making all these
Seems like it
decisions,
doesn't
you're
have as
making
many
friends with
mutants
everybody,
compared to
you're crafting your
Fallout.
gear. What about
unless
skills,
people have
anything
died
like
from
that in the game?
radiation. Yeah, definitely
Skills that help
Misty.
reinforce the player's ability to survive in this dangerous world. So there's a chain of skills that are for melee combat, ranged combat. There's sort of durability skills that mean you can take more damage and survive in dangerous areas. And then also abilities that help your overall survival, like disarming traps and things like that. So really we wanted to keep it grounded so that there's always that sense of threat and pressure, but we wanted to give you some advantages. So you might learn a skill that lets you throw a melee weapon, and if it's bladed, it'll stick in targets and things like that, just to help give you that edge over the course of the game. As you can see in this location here, they're in a kind of dark and then scary interior. So we've got the player's progression, but then there's also a kind of game world progression where they're uncovering a mystery. So quite literally, they have to push
I'm gonna
deep
feed
into
my
the
cats
world
real
and
quick, but
into
I'll
the
be right back,
underground of the
guys.
world to find these dark and scary
Zelda
places.
will keep you guys company for a few
We
seconds.
just keep it. We try and keep it tense the entire way through the game.
I was going to say, because there is the sci-fi element, but there's a bit of horror vibes I'm getting too. Like, so with us competing with people maybe on a top level, and now we've got into this bunker, there must be some monsters of some kind.
Yeah, we just saw a little glimpse of something scary and monstrous, and as you push into the mystery, you will find more elements influenced by what happened. But yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said earlier, the storytelling style of the 50s and 60s didn't really have a division between folk horror and sci-fi. There was like a blend for a certain kind of story that was addressing the Cold War, but in a way that wasn't too political, I guess. So, you know, folk horror stories are about the division between rural and urban civilization and how there's a tension between them, and Cold War stories are about fear of the outsiders and others and that sort of thing. And there's thematic resonances between all of these different storytelling styles, which make it really easy for us to push into these otherworldly horror elements as you push into the mystery.
Nice. That's so sick.
We've got quite an atmospheric bunker, like you said, as well. Have you got a favourite part of the maps that you can share us with? Again, nothing. I'm really pushing it here, but any favourite place to maybe have a picnic or anything like that?
Well, actually, there is a favourite secret place which I can tell you about a little bit. So, as the player is starting the game, they're given one lead. A person tells them that the heart of this mystery is a location called the Interchange. So to begin with, you're trying to find this place, and as you make your way in, it's all unpowered, it's been shut down, it's been quarantined, and you push into it and open it up more and more, and it's like an unfurling flower as you find all of these leads that are the heart of the mystery. And the more you find, the more leads there are to find. So you end up in this kind of like snowball effect.
He's just picked up a Cornish pasty.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Stunning.
Yeah.
Well, this is pre-Greg's era, I suppose. So we'll take all we can get for now.
That's brilliant.
Just don't ask what meat's in it.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
It's really fun for me to see like the contrast between that dank bunker we just came out of, and then like the overworld is so lush and vibrant. And listen, I've been to the north of England. It's not always this green, so sometimes, yeah, exactly. I mean, I live in London, and it's just grey all the time. So any green I can get is good. But
it's the Lake District on a good day.
Yeah, exactly. So, will we see many other types of biomes or environments in the game as well?
Yeah. So one example would be there's a woodland nearby, but it has more of a kind of spooky folk horror-ish tone. As you get into it, it feels more mysterious and occult. And there's a group of kind of pagans that if you tread wrong, they'll cut your face off with sickles, you know. Yeah. Or you can find a friendly character who's sort of part of that group and talk your way into their compound. So we give you all these different options to, you know, for whichever faction there are, ways to befriend them or get in a fight with them.
Choose them.
Yeah,
I like that as well. Very good. I mean, I think we, especially at Xbox On, are super excited for AtomFall and to check it out and maybe even come across ourselves, because Henry and I and Charlie have actually been scanned into the game, which we're very excited to maybe come across ourselves. Oh, there we are.
Yeah.
There's Henry getting his wee...
Yeah, I have to say it's maybe not the most flattering, you know, methods of doing it, but what are you actually doing to me there? Because I just signed something and agreed to show up dressed as a big baby, and apparently that's for something. But
yeah,
what did you guys do? Oh, yeah, I thought so. Yeah, thanks. What is it that you guys have to do to get someone scanned into your games? Because the realism is quite impressive.
Sure. So we go through a highly detailed scanning process of every angle of your face and different configurations. So we get wrinkle maps and things like that.
What do you mean? I'm perfect.
Of course, yeah. So we didn't bother with the wrinkle
Oh,
maps.
great.
So they're all assembled by character artists and rigged so they can animate. And then we, in the case of AtomFall, we then put that in a sort of character builder system. That means we can put costumes on the characters. We might grub your face up a bit because, you know, they've been surviving for 5 years without washing machines and soap. And then we just find exactly the right spot for each kind of memorable face in the game.
I'm
All right, now
looking
we're,
out for where
we're still
I am.
talking about, okay.
If I'm on an enemy,
We're still on AtomFall.
that's okay. I've always wondered what I'd look like if I had
All
a
right,
cricket
hey
bat to the
guys,
face. So
I'm back.
this is great. And you're going to be getting scanned in pretty soon.
Yeah, I can't wait. As long as you put some fake eyelashes on me as well, then make that.
I'll make a note.
Yeah. Are you in the game as well? Have you been scanned?
No, I haven't been scanned yet.
Okay.
No. You have to shave a beard off if you want to.
All right,
Yeah.
Sienna, thank you so much for the super chat and for hanging out in the stream with me.
Yeah, the
Have a
rest
good
was
time with
awesome.
your dad.
Whoops.
Take care, Miss
Honestly,
Sienna,
I
thank
cannot
you.
wait to play this game. It looks bonkers. It looks British as heck. And honestly, we're going to play it so much when it launches next year. Thank you so much, honestly, for stopping by. Enjoy the rest of your Gamescom. And yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
And we are going to be taking a little look at some other games. But your
Wow,
Gamescom
this
out
is a
2025
long
Game Pass
Gamescom
is great.
stream.
But next up, we're going to be throwing it back with some Age of Mythology Retold. But before we do that, we do want to check out some new gameplay. This Dragon Ball. Oh yeah, Sparking Zero. It's back. Check this out.
All right, Age. Oh, wait. Here we go, Dragon Ball.
Hello everyone, I'm Marco Rizzo, Product Manager of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Thank you for joining us today in this exciting showcase. Today we will show you some new and exciting gameplay footage featuring characters that we have revealed during the opening night live. But before that, let me give you a reminder on the 2 single-player game modes that Dragon Ball Sparking Zero has to offer: Episode Battles and Custom Battles. First up is Episode Battle. In this single-player mode, you can take the point of view of 8 different characters, including Goku and Vegeta, and enjoy famous battles from the anime. For each stage, you'll be playing through an introduction before heading into some of the most iconic fights in Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. The number of stages and battles vary by character.
We're here to take you down. Simple as that.
Next up is Custom Battle. In this mode, players fight in battles that each have their own original scenes. Some battles will also have different victory condition, and some might even have event cutscenes pop up midway, so you'll be able to enjoy battles different from the norm. Using Edit mode, you'll be able to freely set the characters to be played, as well as the pre-battle and post-battle cutscenes, in order to make your own original battle. What you've made will be able to be uploaded and viewed online for the whole world to play, so hope you enjoy sharing the battles and situations that you have created.
Alright, looks interesting.
Now, the moment you've been waiting for. Coming straight from the Majin Buu saga, Ultimate Gohan is our latest addition to the roster. After his rigorous training, he is ready to show his power in an all-out fight against Kefla in her Super Saiyan 2 form. Enjoy!
After his rigorous training, he is now ready to show his power in all-out fight against Kefla in her Super Saiyan 2 form. Enjoy! Dragon Ball, let's go! Yeah, I think sometimes people are. It's not English isn't their first language, so they yeah. It's like hard for them to sound really pumped because they're like trying to just remember their lines in English. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm breaking the rules with my emotes. I should be careful how many emotes I do. Well, now we get to just see the gameplay in all its glory. I can't believe this is gameplay.
Now, there is nothing like enhancing a classic with modern graphics and gameplay mechanics. And if that classic feature can feature, you know, new expansions and a remastering of the multiplayer experience, well, in my eyes, it's even better. So here from World's Edge even, to give us the latest on Age of Mythology Retold, please welcome Senior Director of Production, Ernest Yen, and Senior Game Designer, Kristen Perillo. Welcome, and
very small look at Sparking Zero.
Thank you so much. Now,
all right, thank you, Sammy. I'll write that down. October 11th.
In general, there's loads going on anyway, but you also had a pretty epic opening night live, so I want to hear all about that. I want to hear all about the booth. I want to hear everything.
Great. So first, thank you, Jeff Keighley, for showing the awesome premiere trailer that we just showing in opening the live last night. And you showed the story of Athena talking to like the young hero, and in this case, like one of them is of course the key character Zachanthos, and about this really, really epic like story that a lot of our fans remember really fondly. So over multiple campaigns, over 50 missions, it is epic, amazing. And of course the trailer also show off like the new graphics we have in the game, looking really pretty. It is just like really cool to see. So.
Yeah, and the trailer's been fantastic because it really showcases how diverse each
that
civilization
was just a very
is
short,
within myth. We
that
have
was
our
too
Greeks,
short
we
of
have
a
Egyptians, Norse, and
of a
Atlantean.
glimpse of
They all have
Sparking
their own
Zero.
gods, their lore, the way that they play. There's just so much diversity within the gameplay. It's been really exciting.
And talking about the booth, yes, we are here, so like people can actually come.
You're just over the back, over there. You're like tucked away over that
right
way.
there.
If anyone's planning on coming tomorrow, just over there.
And if you come, you can get like these awesome lightning bolts, like, and also take pictures. So it's like really, really cool. And by the way, this is not the only thing that we have here. So you know, on top of Age of Mythology Retold, we also recently announced Age of Empires Mobile. And then, like, if you come by the booth, you can get this like awesome like pop socket. It's like amazing. So highly recommend.
We probably will do this game, Ali 2122.
It's so cool. And the game is actually we just announced.
We
that
have
it's
an
going
Xbox,
to
so
be
we might as well do it
globally on October 17th.
And yet,
so
for anyone
it's a
wondering,
very
this is
very new experience. That
well,
we're
I mean, I just learned it now because I forgot. It's in the Age of Empires, obviously,
with the awesome
game
TV
series.
Studio Group.
But this one is only for
something that's
Xbox
amazing
and
for the
PC,
mobile gamers.
so-
Oh, how exciting.
So-
I can't wait to see it. Amazing. Right, so I know you have more
Luke
news
likes
to
the Age
come
of
as we're
Empires,
talking here today, but
Allie.
the first thing I want to talk about is that this is more of it's more than a remastering, but it's different to a sequel, right? So, I don't know, what are the name of gods does Retold actually mean?
Right. So for a few years now, our fans know we have been building these things called like definitive editions. And there's one key goal that we have, which is we want to build the title that's in your head, right? Not because when you actually think about the games that you grew up with and play, like you remember fondly and say like,
nostalgia
it's
of it all,
amazing,
yes,
right?
yeah.
So, but when you actually try to play the original for real and look at it and say like, that's not what I remember like, at all. So we want to build the one that's actually in your head and how it looks like, how it feels like. So that's the goal. So, and yeah, really want to thank the fans for supporting us for so long for all the different editions. But for Retold, and Mythology Retold, we are going beyond what we have done in developed editions. So on top of all the graphics and all the gameplay from the original, we actually tweak it and added a bunch of like new things to it as well, and it is just amazing. So
yeah, I mean, from the design side, from the get-go, we really asked ourselves, how can we maximize our mythology? And so we've got reusable god powers, which you can actually see. We've got our approachability features like our VPS we've brought in from other titles. We've got a more favor-based economy, so you can build more monsters, and our population cap is much higher now, so not only can you build more monsters, you can just build more of everything.
You add me at more monsters, I'll stop you there. It feels like a love letter, really. Everything you've learned so far, you're bringing back, and I love the idea of taking out what you see in your head and then making that version of the game. I think it's absolutely wonderful. So you mentioned a little bit about god powers, actually. I heard we have our very own gods wandering around at Gamescom, by the way, while we're on the subject.
yes, we have invited them to the booth, so you also can actually see them. We have Athena and Zeus here in our booth, so come by, see them. Like, you can see them on screen like that.
Zeus is loose.
Goodness me, where did you find that?
They are amazing. That is so
cool. There's Zeus. You can get a picture, and
please come
Athena.
by. It takes a lot of work for us to invite
Athena
them
looks
to the
super
booth.
serious.
So,
A lot of convincing.
a lot of convincing.
Beautiful. Awesome.
That is
Okay,
a
back to
cool
the game now. Sorry,
cosplay
tangents.
outfit for
seeing the gameplay
Athena,
that we
to be
just saw just
completely
then,
honest.
it's really clear that the team has been hard at work on the visuals.
I like
and
how
you
she
both
has the
mentioned it already.
helmet.
So what can we expect? What exactly does that mean?
So for graphics, we actually have
So far, I
redone
like that
every
there are
single
dinosaurs
graphics
that
you
can be in your
actually see
party,
in the game. So like,
and I love
every single
mythology,
3D
so this
asset,
will
every
be
single
really interesting.
animations, like effects, all of them are completely rebuilt. So just for this game. And it's amazing. The team did really, really good work. But we want to make sure that you also keep the flavor of the original.
Of course,
because
yes.
again, we want to build a game that people remember. So it's really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, it has been a labor of love. I will say that much. So we've gone asset by asset. And we've just made overall improvements. We wanted everything to look and feel mythical. And so we have, our destruction effects, we support ray tracing. But like Ernest had said earlier, sometimes when we've gone back and look at these assets in 2024, we realized that we had an image in our head that was very different than blurry pixels, wrapped around a sphere. And so we had a lot of philosophical discussions because, the dev team were all major fans of the original. So, I mean, Arcantus was a big one where we were like, would he have a dimple? Or would his chin be more square? Would he have?
I want to be in those meetings, please.
They have been really fun. It's part Rorschach test looking at some of the assets, and then it's like labor of love, and it all comes together to make that game that we remember loving and playing.
Amazing. So if I've got everything right here, so Age of Mythology
They're smiling
Retold
so
is complete
big, so
visual
I feel
overhaul,
like they're really
updated
excited
god
about
powers,
this game.
and larger-than-life myth units. Now, small enough to keep me interested, but is there anything else that you have to share?
Yes, definitely want to say that, remind people, one of the coolest thing that we have done for here is that we are releasing on PC and Xbox with crossplay, like at the same time. We have never done that with any Age games, so it is the first time we're releasing on multiple platforms at the same time. So really, really happy to be able to bring the game to not only to the keyboard
I
mouse
love
player,
how
but to
excited this
controllers
guy
players
is.
as
Like
well.
his
'Cause
enthusiasm.
the game people really
the most
remember, beloved, that we
enthusiastic
want
person
everybody
in
to
the
be able to
entire
play
And you've had some
conference
fantastic
that I've
versions on the
listened to in
console
3
recently,
hours.
so those players will absolutely
I'm
join
like
you.
about to get the
Now,
game just
you also
for
have some
him
other really exciting things
and
to
all
tell
his
us today. I
enthusiasm.
know I'm really gripped for this, but what can you tell us about the Freya Gods pack?
Oh, I am so excited to be able to talk about this.
Here we go.
So the Freya God pack really is kind of like a new DLC type for us. And what we really wanted wanted to do was offer the players
I mean,
a new strategy
if I had
type
to
for
decide,
the Norse, which is,
I
you
would
know,
always
a
go with
beloved
Dragon Ball because I
civilization
love
from
the
legacy
Dragon
game
Ball games.
that
That's
can
my
sometimes
personal
be
opinion.
very offensive in the
But,
way that
I mean,
it plays.
Epic
And so
Monkey games
with
are
our
great
Freyer
too.
God Pack, we wanted to offer a defensive skew to it. So with the Freyer God Pack, players will be getting 4 new god types
Hi,
featuring
Shadow Trooper.
Freyr,
Hi,
who is
Mage
the
Wolf. Hi,
god of
everyone.
fertility and kingship, and then 3 minor gods, as well as all the things that they come with, like their myth units and their god powers.
Wow. Oh my goodness me. That's insane, by the way. 4 new gods. Amazing. Are you able to talk us through each one? Can we do that?
Yes.
Oh, amazing. Excellent.
So we have Uller, who is the god of archery, and his myth unit is a Draugr, which you may see in the film here. The Draugr is an awesome myth unit. He's an undead archer, and his arrows can pierce multiple targets, whatever is in his line of sight. We have A.G.E.R, who is the god of storms, and his god power, he has a horrifying hailstorm that will slow everybody down, and it's very frosty. And he is one of the best myth units, which is a rock giant.
So are they
and if you
doing
upgrade
mythology
him,
from
he can
every
eat buildings
country
and
or just
God, I love this
Greek
game.
and our
mythology?
mythic age god is
Like, are we
Vidar,
getting
who is
Chinese
the god
mythology,
of vengeance, very
African
appropriate for the
mythology,
mythic age. And so his god
Aztec
power, he
mythology?
calls upon
What
Fenrir,
is
it's
happening
a
with
mythological
this?
wolf. And Fenrir is interesting. He has a path of destruction. He'll light forests on fire, and the wolf comes up in a very scary, ghostly manner. And then his myth unit is actually my personal favorite. Another famous character from mythology, Fafnir, who is a very greedy dragon. Everywhere he goes, he leaves like a trail of poison.
Love it.
And if you slay Fafnir on the battlefield, he actually melts into a pile of gold coins.
Oh, wow.
So it's been very fun to make.
I really
and very
love
fun to
how
play.
much you've fleshed out each of those. Like, yeah, that one's going to eat buildings, isn't he? Love
Yes.
it. So good. Wonderful.
It's amazing. Just want to do a quick reminder that Freya is going to be part of the premium edition of the game. So if you want Freya and all the people, the major and minor gods, so definitely get the premium edition.
Freya is
and
gonna
by
be
the
in
way,
the
if you get the
premium
premium edition of the game,
She's the,
you also will be able to access
leader of the
game
Valkyries.
earlier. So like the game is coming out September 4th, but like if you have the premium edition, you can start playing on August 28th, 7 days
Sounds like
early.
a good deal to me. Love it. Awesome. So as well as choosing your god and battling across this frozen north, what other new content can we expect from the Freya Gods pack?
Yes, so with the Freyer God Pack, there's also a new playable level called Reagan Leaf Rally, and I won't spoil it. It's very fun. You'll get the chance to play all of the fun new myth units and god powers and techs I just mentioned. And really the best part of this level is that it does feature one of our villains from the Legacy campaign, Gargarensis, who is just a peach. And it's a great experience.
I'm stuck on Peach there. I can't wait to unpack this expansion, but I need to ask you both, Ernest, Kirsten, what dates? I know we spoke them a little bit, but let's go over it one more time so everyone's got them written on the calendar at home.
Yep, September 4th is when the game is coming out. So, but I do want to be clear that the way that we like to build our game, September 4th is really
September
just the
4th,
beginning.
he said?
So we will continue to support the game. We'll continue to do updates, balance, listen to consumer feedback, and honestly, our players are amazing. They give us really good feedback, and then we
They
can
do.
continue to improve the game.
Yeah,
So-
and part of that is, we have 2 new Pantheons coming with playable civilizations, and then we also have a new game mode, Arena of the Gods, which we're excited to talk about soon.
Ooh, how exciting. Well, thank you both so much for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to make sure I get the pop socket. I'm going to make sure I get whatever these things you're wearing. I'm going to hunt you down. I'm going to get them. So thanks so much for stopping by. There are loads more Age of Mythology stuff going on for all
September
types
4th.
of gamers.
Okay.
But first things first, as Erson said, if you haven't already, make sure you pre-order Age of Mythology Retold Premium Edition to get the Freya Gods pack, 7 days early access, and so much more. You can play early from August 28th, and that is only 1 week from today. And that, my friends, is a wrap on day 1 from the Xbox Gamescom booth here in Germany. Join us tomorrow for Star Wars Outlaws, the latest chapter from Fallout 76 Milepost Zero, and then we'll dive into the most ambitious story arc that World of Warcraft has ever seen. And there's probably going to be so much more too. So until tomorrow, have a great day. Auf Wiedersehen.
Star Wars Outlaws. So this is the end of it. 3 p.m. So it'd be 3 p.m. Central Eastern. 9 a.m. 6 a.m. So it'll be 9 a.m. tomorrow again. So this was the end of it. Thank you for watching. It says it's over. Why did it say it was going till 5 p.m.? Well, I don't know, guys. That might have been the end of it. It said it was going until 5 though. Alright, thank you. Yep, thank you, Hedgehog. Thank you, Vicky. Thanks, everyone. Thanks again. Looks like the poll, most people are excited for Indiana Jones, so maybe we'll see some of that tomorrow. I have no idea if they're going to do more of this. If they do start streaming more of this, then I'll try to jump on and stream it for you, anyone who wants to watch the cat cam. Special thanks to Zelda for providing her cuteness for the cat cam for all of us. Thank you, Mage Wolf, and anyone else that was helping me out in the chat. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you, Miss Yenna, for the $10 super chat, and our Serial for the gifted membership. And also, thank you. We got a super chat from Thanos as well. So thank you, everyone, for watching. Hey, Nani, Hedgehog, Shadow Trooper, Mage Wolf, and Juan, and Maria, and everybody. And I'll see you guys on some more streams later today. Alright, guys. Talk to you guys next time.
Liberty Mutual customized my car insurance.
Thanks for watching.